morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, anywhere in the world. Welcome to Panelists. I'm Esther Nimeli Bryan, the owner and CEO of Panelists. At I'm not going to say it here. We don't want you guys to know what we're doing. But when you walk into Panelists, just
an affordable insurance company? Then look no further. Peter Massaco Insurance, located in central New Jersey, is one of the best around. Peter Massaco Insurance specializes in homeowners insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, business insurance, and many more. We even offer a free financial planning consultation. We partner with over 20 top-rated companies to make sure we provide affordable prices to our clients. We have a full bilingual staff to fit your needs as well. Let Peter Massaco Insurance help you today.
Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, just wherever you're watching KMTV from. This is the closing argument, and we are coming to you live from our central studios here in Monrovia. Well, today is the 22nd day of September 2023. What a pleasant way. I'd like to welcome you to the Friday's edition of the closing argument. Well, my name is Aisha Niba, and we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, where we are also live on the closing argument page. Well, we are live on Hot FM 107.9 in Monrovia. We are also live on Peabody FM 106.3 in Bomi County. And we will be live on Truth FM 96.1 just after the 8:45 news. Well, so many things to talk about tonight on the closing argument, but let's see if we can welcome St. Tomalin George on the show tonight. Tomalin, good evening and welcome to the closing argument.
I say good evening, and it's good to be back on the closing argument. Today is Friday. Thank God the week is coming to the end. We have 18 days to go to this election. We're excited. I'm excited because I'll be in Liberia soon to enjoy eating my Liberian food again and walking on the beach in the morning and getting part in the process. It's important that we all take part in this process, make a sacrifice, and I look forward to being in Liberia with my colleagues soon and to make sure that this election that is very consequential for our country, that we all be participant and ensure that the election is free, fair, transparent, inclusive, and credible. That's our job. We want to make sure that our country remains peaceful and elections are held on a very, very peaceful atmosphere so that all Liberians can make their voices heard through the votes. So it's good to be back, man. You on the ground. Tell us what's going on the ground. I know there are a lot of issues. I spoke to the NEC chairman a few minutes ago, Madam Deidre Brown. I talked to her a few minutes ago, and I'll be discussing further. And also the issue about the ECOWAS statement, the issue from the alert by the U.S. Embassy and the NEC press release too. We'll be discussing all. So, but you tell us what's going on the ground. You bring us up to speed.
Well, it's election period, and so much to talk about around the election. Today, the National Elections Commission, just before coming on air, actually placed a release on their Facebook page encouraging the public and the media that beginning next week, Tuesday, which should be the 26th day of September, they will begin the regular press briefing as we move forward to the 2023 October 10 election. So something that is laudable on the part of the NEC, because as we move about to October 10, people will want to hear from the NEC on a regular basis, and they want to know the status. And one issue that has been raised in the public is the issue of the final voter rule, the FFR. Today, you saw the campaign manager or the campaign chair of the Unity Party and the Rescue Mission in Maserati County, Senator Abrams Dara Dillon at the National Elections Commission, along with some folks who had gone there today to ascertain as to what is responsible for the delay in the releasing of the final voter roll by the National Elections Commission. And so I think one of such decisions that were actually made today prompted the NEC to have come up with this regular press briefing. And also, as you may be aware, tomorrow, Saturday, there is this report that the president will be arriving from the UN General Assembly. And so it is expected that sedition and supporters of the president will gather tomorrow to receive him, and it's being discussed all around the corner. And also the Alternative National Congress, inclusive of the CPP, there's this change in their schedule with regard to the campaign launch on or the campaign closure, that is on the 7th of October, and it has been changed, and now they will have their campaign closure on the 1st of October. And I'm looking at that day, which happens the birthday of the president, and you might see some level of gathering some way, somehow, as they will want to celebrate the president's birthday. So, but that is the day set for the CPP to have their campaign closure on October 1. So, this is the new schedule now, and it will be held on the Antoinette Tottenham Stadium. Another issue, quickly, Tomalin, is the issue. There is this issue about a will, a dead will that is on the shores of Liberia along the coastal line in the Dwazon area. And so it has actually been a concern, as you can see, for those watching on the stream. Many people are actually trooping in Dwazon and getting a piece of this dead whale that is on this shore of our coast. And so the Ministry of Health have actually released a statement warning people against eating this whale that is on the show, because they have no idea as to the danger it poses to their health and well-being. So people are actually moving in, and you see people there on the stream actually getting the piece, and they are also skeptical about going in front of the wheel because it's been said that the wheel will normally come and people will cut it at certain point in time, it will go back into the sea. So though they are getting pieces of the wheel, but they are also concerned about the wheel getting back into the sea, even though it's been said that this is a dead whale. And on the campaign trail, Dr. Clarence Moluba is making some rounds in Bond County. They are not actually sleeping. Political parties and political leaders are actually making some rounds. Like you see in Grand Bassa County, the Unity Party standard bearer, Ambassador Jose Yuma Boaka, is also in Grand Bassa County, to be specific, compound number 1. And briefly, this is what is trending in the country as we speak, Tomalin.
Yeah, Chairman, welcome. Like we said, look, I used in the news that trending is all over the place, and everybody will chime in. Right now, everybody having informing their own opinion about what's happening. But at the end of the day, the reality is that we have 18 days to go. And like Ben Sanvee been saying for since last year, he's been saying it, the crazy season will come and go. This is the crazy season. Because like, for instance, I see one disc jockey who's a journalist. You are
Tomalin.
no. Let me address that. That kid. He's a desk jockey. He's talking to only a few friends that read his post. I'm talking to thousands of people. You can't write trash about me. Give me a break. You're a desk jockey. You're not a journalist. Don't lie.
No,
you're not a journalist.
You're a desk
jockey. No, you're a desk jockey. Don't come out of your journalists around here and be writing trash on Facebook because you got blue app. You want relevance? You want to see relevance? Give me a break. But you know,
Chairman.
Mute that man from the master studio.
No, but I see the kid.
Look, Tomalin. You know, we always have these conversations in the back. And look, if people don't talk about you, my friend,
I know
it means you're not doing something. Don't stress over all this craziness. These people, look, let me tell you something. And the better God, thank you for Mark Zuckerberg.
Seriously.
Because look, let's be fair. You know, a lot of people, and it's not a bad thing for people to have opinions. But when you go out there and you start to denigrate
good people then for politics,
because in the name of politics, because you feel you can speak or you feel you are getting personal. Look. Listen, I tell people all the time, I sleep sound at night. I say, like when I go to bed, I sleep. I mean, I roughly average around maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, right? Because I'm an early riser. But I don't lose a beat. I don't. It doesn't move me. Your opinions of me don't get me wrong. There are certain people who I respect, and definitely their opinions do matter. But the most important group of people to me, my family, my kids, my wife, my close friends, people who know me. I know they know me and I know what I stand for. So everybody has a tendency sometimes to, get excited and want to, want to do certain things. Are we on? I think we lost Ayese. I just want to make sure if we're on.
I think we lost it. He coming back.
Yeah, both. I hope all of them, everybody's, because I don't see nobody else in the back. So I just want to make sure. Let me check.
You see, Chairman. You see when the process starts, people are pretending. When you talk to them, they'll tell you, "Oh, I don't know how. I just taking their play." Now, as we get nearer to the election now.
Okay.
Like I said, I respect you. You take your right now. My family. I think so far the only person who not supporting Joseph Boakai in election and nobody. Well, whole family, most of them they want to end. But I'm taking personally against them. I love them.
Yes, they're right. It's everybody's right to support.
Some of our friends, the guys that come. I mean, you're attacking good people. You're trying to bring Ronnie Sear down. You want to denigrate Ronnie Sear. You know what Ronnie Sear? How much what he has on his belt? You know how much high respect he is.
I mean, look, and I'm sure Rodney. Look, yeah, let's call it a. I mean, Rodney is a internationally acclaimed journalist, one of the best investigative journalists in Africa. I would say in the world. He's very good. He's not perfect, but he's an acclaimed journalist. But look, it's a crazy season, man. Everybody has an opinion. Opinion like noses, Everybody got one, but you are entitled to your own opinion. You're just not entitled to your own facts. Don't
insult and threaten people that all my problem.
Yeah, it's okay.
Or is that threatening and insulting? I mean, then you crossing the line. Don't do that.
And like I've always said, at the end of the day, these elections will come and go. Some of the people who huffing and puffing, some of the people who are taking these things personal, you would not even have an opportunity to even stand with some of the political leaders you are fighting for. I mean, we speak to these people every single day. I don't care what you do. Y'all can go up, y'all can get vest. Y'all won't get vest. Y'all be cussing. Y'all be doing all the things y'all want to do. If I pick up the phone, Jez, and I want to speak with Vice President Joe Boakai, I will speak to him. There's no question about it. But listen, in the end, we respect everyone. We give them, everybody got the right to decide to say what they want to say. I see people writing about somebody said some video that people were talking about. Listen, I have a lot of videos out there. The good thing about me, and I always tell people, everything that I say publicly, I mean it, and I can defend it. Everything that I say publicly. That's why they call it digital footprint. Tomalin, I say on this show, that's why I'm very careful what I say on this show, because I know you'll come back people are going to raise it. It doesn't matter if people are using my words or people are using my videos. It shows how important I am in the country politics, and so I'm flattered. I'm really, really flattered that people take their time to, I know, right?
The sin is getting mad today. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
calm down.
don't let these people get to you. Don't let these people get to you. I mean, let me tell you something. A lot of these people are fans.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are fans. Do you know how people want to aggravate you or piss you off to get you in a space where you call their name and you give them the relevance that they need, or you elevate them. Don't go for that. Don't listen. One of the greatest things that I do, and I'll tell you a secret today. I think you know that about me. When people even decide to write posts,
you're going to post.
I post. I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying my life. Life is good for me. Politics for me is a hobby. I'm passionate about politics. I would not lie to you, but politics doesn't feed me. It doesn't give me. I don't care who become president of Liberia. I mean, it's your business. Y'all won't take the country and turn it upside down. At the end of the day, we want to see our country do well. That's what matters. So I'm not going to sit down and elevate people and let people decide and do this. I know there are several people sometimes they write posts on you. The thing I can enjoy is that when they write a post or when I do a post and then they all go on the air and they cussing. Then I see somebody like you go right on the air, right? Yeah. Then I'm going to respond to you.
Yes.
That thing can piss them.
Because the person that attacking you act like you see their post. So you don't don't worry. Yes.
First of all, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. Why am I going to respond to you? Why am I going to waste my time to elevate you? The fact that you take your time to go right under a post of mine, it tells me that you value my opinion. You value what I have to say.
Exactly.
The people who I respond to are people who I think needs to be, but people.
But Ben, the reason why I respond because the kid went and opened a post on me just now and put and screenshotting the chat we have on public on somebody like you're trying to create you want attention. So I want things say I speak to a bigger audience than you. You only talk to a few of your friends. So I will not even call you. I need to give you credence because I need you watching me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So don't just chill because we in the same league. On a serious note. But look, when you say my cousin St. Jackson, he get down. He ain't get on the post skit. SPJ will go and write. They were cussing. He didn't get time. I can enjoy him. But that politics, it will come and go, But anyway, end of the day, 18 days to go to the election. And the NEC, right now the issue about this voters' roll trending. And we just got to I talked to the
I heard you spoke with the chairperson.
I spoke to her, and she said that the issue will be addressed again. But again, the other thing is that I understand it is in the 30 days behind the 30 days threshold. We got 30 days to the elections. The official voter rolls will be printed. And I also spoke to somebody at the NEC too. They said that it's right now as they speak, they were printing it out. It should be out. It should be rolling it out, and things should be out. So they just because of this, I think something about this new process and so forth caused it. But it is, I would say that it is a legitimate concern for any party to raise concern about it, because you want to know exactly who are voting and so forth, have an idea. So it's a legitimate concern. Just that for me, no one should put a law into their hands or try to grandstand or come to violence about it. That's through the proper mechanism that is available to ensure that this bill is published. Yeah. So the NEC, I think they're saying that it will begin the regular press conference. I think it's good. Talk to the press every week now. Every day. If I were them, get a briefing on the election on the elections day.
And you're right, Tomalin. That's the only beef I have with the National Elections Commission. I think, look, delays sometimes in these processes are inevitable. Let's be fair and let's be responsible. The only beef I have with them is, and I hope, like you said, you spoke with the chairperson, and we thank her for availing herself and speaking with you, and I think she gave you the contact of someone, so that we can stay in touch with them, is that in a contentious election like this, in an important elections like this, the press bureau or the press secretary or whatever the title is, communications director, whatever the person is, should be briefing the press on a daily basis. Even if you got nothing to do, even if you got nothing to say new, put out a presser and say, listen, no updates from what we happened yesterday. There are journalists that are assigned to the National Elections Commission. So they should be able to brief the country on a daily basis, not a weekly basis, on a daily basis until election, because we are what? We're less than 20 days away from the elections. The National Elections Commission should have a daily press briefing. With that being said, it is no excuse for would-be people who are supposed to be national leaders in our country to try to grandstand and to try to cause chaos or commotion within the electoral process. What I saw today at the National Elections Commission was totally uncalled for. Now, it is well within the right of Senator Dillon and members of the Unity Party to assemble at the National Elections Commission. It is within the right. They have a right to do that. The Constitution gave them that right to do that. But when you are a national leader, when you are a senator, when you have oversight over an entity of government, I heard Senator Dillon say that, the woman said that they were going to do it on this day and they didn't do it. And she was under oath. She was under oath. There are consequences for you when you go and make a statement under oath and you don't live by it. So he should have exhausted the legislative process. But to take young men and women and put them on the streets and grandstand and start acting like, you Kunta Kinte or you Nelson Mandela. Look, listen, let's stop the foolishness. Nobody should threaten the National Elections Commission. Look, we will keep our eye on the National Elections Commission. Let's be clear. We'll keep our eye because we all demand free, fair, transparent, and democratic elections. Okay? We'll keep our eye on them. But this notion that somebody's supposed to come and make a statement and threaten the Elections Commission, this is the very same Election Commission that certified all of these people who are running around talking. So let's be honest. And I think the Elections Commission chairperson was well within her right when she spoke the way she spoke, that they will not be threatened. This notion that you will come out there and threaten the National Elections Commission because you think you have a platform or because you think you are a senator and you get a bunch of young people to come and put them in front of the National Elections Commission. Again, like I said, it is well within your right to do that. But use your office. Use the legislative contempt powers that you have. I don't have time for little minions running around. Look, this is a serious election. The voters' roll should be published. If it has not been published, let the Elections Commission come out and tell us why it hasn't been published. If they don't tell us, we got proper remedies. This notion that you're just going to go ahead and take people's children, just put them on the street, every little thing. Oh, you gotta go on the street. You gotta go on the street. And to the young people who taking themselves and jumping on the street. After this election, y'all see if y'all will see them. Y'all see if y'all will see these people. So this thing is foolishness. My thing is, hold the Elections Commission accountable. I think the chairperson was very clear. There are delays. It is not an excuse to say, oh yeah, let's just give her a pass. No, but use the functions. So what was accomplished today? What was accomplished today? Also, the fact that a few young people went and sat in the sun and made speeches and got on the radio and acted like to say, oh, they were militants. I mean, this whole thing. So that's my point. The last thing I want to say before Jackie and Welcome and Duke is this whole notion of people threatening our process. Prince Johnson jumping up and making noise that there will be an Arab Spring. The only Arab Spring that needs to happen in Liberia is for Prince Johnson to be in jail. Maybe that's the Arab Spring we need. I mean, it is nauseating. It is outrageous. It is disgraceful. And it is disgusting. that we have people who are supposed to be national leaders threatening the security of our state. Let us demand free, fair, and transparent elections. But nobody got to hold a gun to anybody's head and try to create an impression. There wasn't that the same National Election Commission that certified Prince Johnson his victory. Wasn't it the same National Election that certified Dillon's victory? All of these people, we will keep an eye on neck, but our peace will not be threatened. Foolishness. And I commend ECOWAS for issuing the statement they issued today. We commend our international partners for making it very clear to them. If you think you're going to cause trouble in that country, you should be locked up. And Prince Johnson, like I always say, should have no space in this conversation. But hey, the Liberia, welcome, guys.
Yeah, it's good. Duke, Jackie, welcome. Duke, you want to chime in? What we're discussing about this voters' rule and what's going on, as also the peace and security of Liberia as we approach this election.
Yeah, Tomalin, whenever we start this show and I see the chairman firing, then it gives me a motivation to fire. We get a chairman, that's small man, he fired too. But look, clearly, elections are important. Electoral integrity is something that all of us should, pay attention to. I do agree. However, when you have individuals who are weaponizing young people and threatening others because they think that they've actually created this illusion, and the script of the illusion thinks that, they should then take these young people and start threatening others because they have in the minds that this illusion has actually put them at the helm of leadership. This is what you have. One of the sadness of our country is that today we get to have a man like Dillon, in positions that requires some level of seriousness. It is a travesty. And I hope that, in the near future, Liberians can move past this obsession with putting people in roles and positions that they shouldn't be in. In addition to that, there needs to be some level of seriousness when it comes to important issues. We will go and take people, some of them will go and take people at the National Election Commissions to threaten other people, but they don't use the same energy to hold people like Prince Johnson accountable. When they're coming out and throwing threats of war and violence, especially in a country that has been destroyed because of the poor decision making and the fightings that happened in that country for 14 years. So I'm not surprised that the Unity Party's method of dealing with things. There's a history that the boycott faction side of the Unity Party is used to. And that's using violence. That's threatening people, not respecting the rule of law, continuing to be, very inflammatory when it comes to our people. That's the agenda to believe in. But tell me, one thing I know is that Liberians are fed up with the violence in that country. And war is something that we're not happy about because we've been through a civil war in that country. And we know how it destroyed our nation to this day. We're still trying to find our footing. In addition to ECOWAS, it is a public plea to the United States to stand up. Because when you have people who are stained with the blood of 250,000 people, somebody who's capable of slaughtering an entire leader, a man who has lived his entire life by using violence to shield him, coming up in a country that the United States has invested millions of dollars in, if not billions of dollars in, and threaten the peace and security of the Liberian people, then the United States cannot stand and watch these individuals just walk by. And I would hope that, Alan White and others, members of the special counsel, members of Congress, can receive recordings and documentation of the threats against the Liberian people, the stability of the entire region, and to finally declare somebody like Prince Johnson a person of interest. I think Prince Johnson needs to be in jail. I think the only thing that Liberian can benefit and the only safety Liberia can have is if Prince Johnson is locked up behind bars, because people like him are dangerous individuals And we see that the Unity Party is now using a lot of these individuals as propaganda machinery for, whatever they expect. But, I'm hopeful that the international community is watching, and I hope that they will be able to take some action. One final thing here, Tomalin, I want to call to the attention, the international community attention to what is unfolding in Liberia. The United States, and I know that they're listening to these platforms. I know that they're listening to the conversations we're having here. We have been very critical of the Weah administration, and we'll continue to do that because we've seen practices that does not align with the international community and that continues to put our people at risk. In addition, we will also be courageous in flagging the activities of the Unity Party. The international community needs to know that the Unity Party is now shelter for former warlords and individuals who have committed the worst atrocities in their country. They don't see anything wrong with it. They think this is a soccer tournament wherein they're aligning all stars of individuals who've murdered ordinary Liberians. The United States, again, our ally and somebody who's got a vested interest in Liberia, should take these things seriously when you see that the United States, the Unity Party is bringing people like the Joshua Milton Bly and all of these people, the butt nakeds, and all of these former rebel commanders. What is it the Unity Party is preparing for? And then days later, Prince Johnson threatening war. This is not something we should overlook. These people are marching towards violence. They're serious about hijacking leadership in our country, and they will do anything at the expense of the Liberian people, even if it means weaponizing these old warlords and putting guns in the hands of young people and slaughtering Liberians. This is something we cannot overlook, and we need to make sure we're putting them on record because we don't want that country slipping into civil war. And I think the Unity Party is now the torchbearer of violence in our country, and our international partners need to start taking some actions.
Yeah, Jackie, welcome. And you want to weigh in too?
I came in, you guys were talking, I assume you're talking about the ECOWAS letter, is that correct? Communication?
Talk about the voters' roll issue and the ECOWAS letter and the threats being made by Prince Johnson and others that this were resulting to the Arab Spring and different stuff.
Okay, I heard Ben talking about people today who are out there. Look, the Constitution, again, I go back to the Constitution.
No. You see, let me stop you quickly.
Sometimes we talk as if...
Let me stop you quick, because I did say it is the right under the Constitution. So let me just correct you because you didn't hear me.
All right.
I just want to let me rephrase what I said before you start, because I know you came in late. Just quickly, I said it was the right to assemble before the National Elections Commission. The Constitution gave them that right.
Okay. You put a butt to it.
Yeah, what I frown on was people who are supposed to be national leaders, who are elected senators, trying to grandstand. Because guess what? Senator Dillon stated, I saw it on his Facebook page, that the Elections Commission chairperson spoke under oath that the voter roll was going to be ready, but she lied under oath. There's something called contempt when you lie under oath. When somebody lies under oath, you don't take young people and carry them in front of the Elections Commission to achieve nothing other than grandstand. Because that's what happened today. What did they achieve today? Other than taking these young men and putting them under the hot sun, again, using them to grandstand, to try to act like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. This is a serious election, my friend. And this thing that we have to do, where you got people passing around, trying to grandstand and create this environment like they're something that they're not. It is wrong. The Elections Commission should not be threatened. No one should threaten the Elections Commission. If the Elections Commission is wrong, we will call them out. I said in the beginning, and I just want to rephrase so that you can have a good basis to speak on, Jackie. I said that the beef that I have with the Elections Commission is that they have to step up their information dissemination. 18 days to go to the election. Next, you have a daily briefing. And it's because NEC is not doing this. That's why people are using it as an opportunity to grandstand and to try to act like they are saviors when they are not saviors. No one should threaten our electoral process. It is the same National Elections Commission that certified Derek Darius Dillon. It is the same National Elections Commission that certified Prince Johnson, Yomdi Kanga Lawrence, and the rest. And no one should threaten our process. This notion that people should also take. So every issue we have with the Elections Commission will take demonstration there. Is this how we're going to, is this the democracy we want to nurture? Come on. Leaders are supposed to lead. Leaders are supposed to lead, Jackie. And for once, call them out. There was a way they could have handled this thing today, rather than create unnecessary commotion just in the name of trying to score political points. That's what I said.
So, Ben, when CDC was exercising their constitutional right under the Unity Party, was it wrong too? When they went out there to voice their opinion, it is the right of the citizens, and the lawmakers work for the Liberian people. If the Liberian people say, hey, we want to go to NEC because today is the 18th, NEC has put that out there for a long time, that they were going to be ready by the 18th.
So did they get the voter roll today? Did they get it?
It doesn't matter. The people have to speak.
Are they going back tomorrow?
If the Liberian people are not satisfied, they have to voice their opinion.
You know that
they have to go to the institution for you.
This is where me and you can make power. When you say the Liberian people,
this is where you say they're not Liberian people.
They are Liberians.
So Liberians represent other Liberians who could not make it there today.
Don't say the Liberian people. Say if the Unity Party.
Ben Sanvee, no,
because not Liberian. They didn't speak for me today.
We have an alliance that is made up of multiple parties, which include the Liberty Party, which include the ANC.
And tell them a party name from your thing.
It's true.
Listen, Jackie,
it's called alliance. It's campaign alliance.
Jackie, we are 18 days. We are 18 days to election. We are 18 days to election.
A campaign alliance that is made up of people from different parties.
Jackie, we are 18 days to election. The Liberty Party is not in no freaking alliance with Unity Party. Y'all need to stop. You want to govern the country, obey the law. True. Unity Party and Liberty Party is in no coalition. None.
If you want to get upset, get upset.
No, I'm not getting upset. I'm correcting you.
No, I'm correcting me because we have the JNB tag team that is made up of people from different political parties.
Jackie,
we got the campaign alliance. I'm correcting you because you said Unity Party.
The Unity
Party thing.
The Unity Party
thing. So you be corrected now.
Okay, good. Let me clear it to you.
The JNB tag team got Liberty Party.
Let me clear it to you. By having members. So let me correct you, Jackie. Let me correct you.
Ben.
By having, but wait now, let me finish. By having members of a political party doesn't mean that the political party is in an alliance with you. That's the first thing.
I say you got members of the Liberty Party. That's what I said.
I am the chairperson of the advisory council of the Liberty Party.
But you can't stop a member of the Liberty Party to join another party.
Wait. The Liberty Party.
When where that happens,
Jackie, the Liberty Party is in a collaboration with the ANC.
And I said members of Liberty Party.
No. You said we have an alliance that includes the Liberty Party.
That includes members of Liberty Party. That's what I said.
What if you said members of Liberty Party? Then I agree. And there are some renegades also who have been expelled that are passing around using our party's name, creating a false impression like the Liberty Party is in an agreement with the Unity Party. The Unity Party is in no agreement. And
you have members of the Liberty Party that said the Constitution was altered. So
look, Jackie, we're not going back and forth on Liberty Party.
It has not been resolved.
The Supreme Court has rendered an opinion on that. Apparently, they don't govern a country, but you don't want to respect the law.
The Supreme Court never rendered opinion on that.
The Supreme Court rendered an opinion. But you're going to use Liberty Party and Nina and see. Why you get Liberty Party?
I know why you getting excited over this.
Because
we have an alliance and
let me tell you something. You know why it's irritating?
And other parties, and it's
Let me tell you why it's irritating.
Let
me tell you why it's irritating.
Constitutional right.
Let me tell you why it's irritating. Let me tell you why it's irritating. Because for a political party that was in power for 12 years, that saw on the Constitution to uphold and respect the laws of our country. When you take yourself, the Unity Party take itself, and allow renegades of a political party masquerading as to say they are part of that institution and calling themselves political leaders and whatever titles they have, it is wrong. And you, Jackie, you are on national radio. You should say there are some members of the Liberty Party, which is true. There are some members of the Liberty Party who support the Liberty Party.
That's exactly what I said.
No, you said the Liberty Party is in the... You said the Liberty Party is in the alliance. Members of Liberty Party.
I said we got the alliance that include members of Liberty Party.
Okay, thank you for the correction. Please, thank you for the correction. Liberty Party is not in no collaboration.
Liberty Party members are part of us.
Liberty Party is not in no collaboration with the Unity Party.
There are Liberty members that are part of us.
Who are, yes, that's true. I agree.
Okay, but then stop getting upset and irritated.
No, I want to correct it because how y'all can throw these things out there and hang.
My man. The constitution of Liberty Party is saying limbo. The court will decide after the election time.
In limbo. Anyway, let's move forward.
The court will decide after election time. So let me move
Liberty Partisan. You're not Liberty Partisan, so forget it. You said Liberty Party. You said Liberty Party, and I had to correct you. The thing you're doing,
members of Liberty Party are part of the alliance, man.
Go ahead.
The Supreme Court rule not issue, Jackie.
Jackie and Tomalin.
The Supreme Court never will go back.
Go back. In the Republic of Unity Party, they don't respect the law.
Whether or not the Constitution was valid, they never did.
But now
they never rule on whether or not it was altered.
But go tell Yombly and Dylan to go use Liberty Party and see what will happen. Go tell them. And she said she's the political leader.
And Dylan, yeah, I said members of the alliance.
But Ben, Chairman, let me say this. Even right now, in elections,
and you just said I'm correct.
Even in elections now. The former Liberty Party chairman, Zago, why he not running on Liberty Party?
Why he not running? Why the candidates not running on Liberty Party ticket? Look at the ballot.
That is clear.
Members of Liberty Party are part of our alliance.
This is Unity Party at its best. Being disingenuous and thinking about the fact.
Why Becky, you're upset?
This is wrong. This is wrong, Jackie.
It is a fact.
This is wrong.
George Tule is not a member of Liberty Party.
He is a member of Liberty Party that supports the Unity Party, but it doesn't mean the Liberty Party supports the Unity Party.
And you have a lot of Liberty Party members that support the alliance.
But I had to correct you. It's important that I corrected you because you've been doing it.
No, you didn't correct me because what I said is correct and it's the same thing that you're saying. So I'm the one making you upset.
Okay, no problem. I'm not upset. I don't want to set the record straight.
But anyway, the bottom line is this. We should not undermine people's constitutional rights in Liberia just because we disagree with them. So if Liberian people feel that they should go and ask questions and stand up and exercise their constitutional right and ask NEC what's going on, it is their right to do so. It is the right of NEC. NEC has not even come on the closing argument. You don't see NEC visible out there. They got a communications team that's communicating. This stuff here, our constitution, it's not a joke. We got to follow our constitution so that our democracy is respected, so that the Liberian people get their will. The preamble of the constitution says, we, the people of the Republic of Liberia, the government works for us. We do not work for the government. So if the people need information, they can't get it, and they feel they should stand up at NEC or any government institution, is well within their constitutional rights to do so. So nobody should try to undermine that process because we will also be undermining the constitution of the Republic of Liberia. That's the first thing. Secondly, the money, NEC keeps saying they don't have money. That's a violation of our constitutional rights. The government of Liberia should have prepared NEC so that we are time bound, because this election is time bound. If election is not held on October 10th, or if we are not ready to conduct a free, fair, and transparent election, we as a country has violated our constitution. And that's why the Liberian people are making sure that they hold the government that they have hired over the past 6 years accountable to make sure that our constitution, the rights of the Liberian people are not violated. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with the people speaking up. In regards to the ECOWAS letter, ECOWAS call on everybody, including the government, to follow the rules, the guidelines, and the constitution that govern this country to make sure we have a free, fair, and transparent election.
Okay. Now, let me just, before I bring in the other guys in, let me say this. ECOWAS was speaking to those recent. I mean,
the speech, the statement is.
You're not reading the letter. You're just picking and choosing from what ECOWAS.
You're picking and choosing, Jackie.
It says follow the Farmington Agreement.
But
when you do not give NEC the proper resources, you are violating that very Farmington Agreement.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but again, let me say this.
What am I talking about?
Jackie, let me say this now.
You're not comprehending what the ECOWAS.
Why don't you talk about the fact that Prince Johnson threatened war on our country?
On Wednesday.
Threatening war is bringing guns, and we don't know what the status of the gun. Threatening war is the drugs. Threatening war is not giving them the proper resources and allowing them to be neutral to conduct a free and transparent election. That is a threat to the Liberian people.
Somebody did that nonsense. I don't know.
Go and come back in. Go out and then erase it. Go and erase it.
No, but on Wednesday, when the president addressed the
go out and erase it. You'll go out and come back.
President said that they have funded NEC.
I don't have it. I don't have it on my.
You're there.
Oh, you don't?
I've seen it.
No. Go out and come back in. Go out. When you log in, you can erase it from the bottom. I think somebody
the missing spoon, man. The lost was the missing spoon.
Who missing spoon?
No, they added the stuff.
You got do put a PR for it. Tamayama did it.
Where do say on that?
PR for it. Tamayama did it. Okay, but
listen. I'm surprised. You as an opposition should be saying yes. We as opposition should work together to make sure we hold.
Very good. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up.
Opposition does.
No, let me
hold your foot. 30 seconds. Let me address.
Are you not part of the opposition, Ben Sanvee?
For the public, right? The ECOWAS condemns inflammatory statements that have the propensity.
Don't mind Jackie.
And from activists, I read that.
ECOWAS urges political actors to use dialogue and mediation to address grievances and legal channels.
They do that every election.
Look at.
Any concern they may have regarding the electoral process. They're telling you now.
Jackie, what has the Unity Party done to you?
Fostering an issue-based campaign.
I'm speaking facts on the show.
Security language. ECOWAS urges that state institutions should continue to execute the mandate relevant to the electoral process.
Check.
And provide a level playing field for all stakeholders to exercise constitutional rights with respect to the rule of law. ECOWAS reminds all actors that the provision of the Farmington River Declaration remain in force and are cardinal to the conduct of all political actors to safeguard the electoral process. ECOWAS Commission and its long-term observers currently in Liberia remain vigilant in assessing the political ecosystem in the run-up to the elections and affirms their continued support to a peaceful and successful presidential general election. So they're telling us that you get problems, seek the legal process. Stop, don't cause confusion.
So can I, please, Jackie says something, I need to speak on it, please. Jackie, you said as an opposition, I should be concerned about the voter. Yes, I am. You know, but the difference between me and the people who trying to grandstand, the people the people who supporting you, your people in your party,
the alliance.
This is not. Listen. First of all, let's state for the record. NEC is supposed to communicate clearly. I don't take that away from NEC. Are there challenges with NEC? I listened to the chairperson of the Elections Commission. She said there are delays. Right?
She was very arrogant in her speech.
Wait, let me finish. Hey, Jackie, wait, don't worry. We agree on this issue. What I do not agree with is political players trying to use this as an opportunity to grandstand, because that's all that happened today. If today they have released the voter roll as a result of people going to go stay in front of NEC, that's totally different thing. The woman was clear. There are delays. What I expected to see from a certain senator and from the Unity Party, that's why other political parties that are opposition, you didn't see them say they go rally people to go stand in front of NEC. They are using something, and Jackie, you know something? There's something called the IPCC at NEC.
Yeah, they meet all the time.
That's a way political parties communicate with NEC. But what Darius Dillon and his people wanted to do today was, like I said, to go and grandstand. Was to go and try to prove a point and to make it loyal to say, oh, the Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or King Saurura.
So what you calling the Liberian people who are out there?
What?
Are they grandstanding? The alliance that were out there that include Liberty Party members, are they grandstanding?
Listen, there was no alliance out there today. There were a handful of unity partisans that listened to what Senator Dillon
tag
said.
team on the floor, on the
Okay,
ground.
the tag team. Okay, wherever. There were tag team and few of y'all who jump out today and decide, like, oh, go there to go grandstand and make inflammatory speeches, which was totally uncalled for.
So when CDC tried to check on the status,
that is my point.
On the United Party, were they grandstanding too?
Jackie, are we talking about 12 years ago or are we talking about today? Is that what we're doing right now? And when
I just want to know if they were grandstanding
the CDC go protest for FRR to the
They did. They were very vocal out there.
Okay, guess what? They were wrong when they did it. They were wrong because guess what? The FRR was released. My thing is, the woman has said they will release the final voter roll. They said they would do that. Let's give them a time to go ahead and do that. If they have fallen out of the window, it is legitimate concern to raise. But this notion that you would threaten the National Elections Commission, that you are sitting senator, you get ready, you go on Facebook, you get ready, I will leave men. What is that? Are we living in a gangster paradise?
Okay.
We're not living in gangster paradise.
That was not followed by the Constitution, as you said.
All right, let me say this, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the action by a sitting senator today was totally embarrassing. Let me say this. Senator Dillon, if he had a real issue, she was just at the Senate and they had a conversation. If he had a real issue, there's a way that you could address it. But for you to just lead people to the Election Commission and try to cause disturbance, that was totally uncalled for. What is he trying to prove? He should be engaging Prince Johnson for making statements, for calling for destabilization in the country and all of that. He can't be. I mean, what does he want to prove? What is in there? The election is October 10th. Today appear like Unity Party won election and they cheated in and they gathered at NEC headquarters.
Are you telling me, Peabody, 18 days away?
Let me talk. You should not be encouraging things like that because you know why? They are bringing themselves out. I don't know. There's something that says they're not going to win, so they're trying to find a way to bring disturbing the country. So far, the NEC chairman made it. The election commission have tried. They had 2 elections where the opposition won. What's the issue there? Try to address it in a very peaceful way, getting people up there. What if violence had occurred there today? Why if people have started throwing stones and breaking other things at NEC today? I think that on the side of Dillon, that was very, very sad. And I think Dillon need to be cautioned. He needs to go. The police or the security need to remind him of the Farmington Accord, what was discussed there, and what the sign. He was part of it. He needs to. But you as a senator can just bring people on the street, gather people, or we demand. You don't demand things.
Thank you.
You don't demand things.
Wild West.
Yeah, you don't do that. Okay, there should be a pattern that you go through. You don't just get out there and start demanding things. They don't. I mean, that as for a sitting senator, I think it was very despicable. It was unprofessional. Stop getting people to gather. It doesn't prove nothing. You bringing people, they gathering, and next thing, when another group comes, they start fighting, and then the government came and started to do this. This is wrong. I think you see, for example, today, the ANC, the CPP was informed that 2 other people
Thank you.
Yes. To use. They're going to be having a rally on the 6th. The ANC say, you know what? The CPP say, you know what? We will go this route. We'll take another day. We is October 1st.
And I can guarantee you, Peabody, if it were Unity Party, they would say the government trying to stop them.
Yes.
I can guarantee you.
That's how people do things.
They would say the government trying to stop them.
That's how people should go about doing things.
Not lead a country you want all against us.
That's not true.
Not every little fact you grab.
The biggest gangster that CDC.
No, yeah, from Keff fresh from
that's right.
Fresh from attending the United Nations General Assembly. He had a front row seat in that great hall, right? The National
That's
Hall.
what you talking about.
I will say this.
All the voter
I will
registration
say
cards that
this,
people
yes.
finding all over the place.
As I'm bringing Kev, yes.
What the president said.
Many of us who have yet to enter that great hall to say that watch a president deliver in the General Assembly a message to the world. Kev have been there. We are proud of you, Kev. Say what you want to say. Kev, the closing argument represented there.
The United Nations
closing argument in front and center.
Kev, put a smile on your face, man.
If you go, but well represented there, and Kev, I want to say, look, brother, you did your duty, man.
Took picture with world leaders and all.
We're proud of you. Y'all be posting those pictures up. Did they put them up? The picture of the world leaders?
Thank you, Tomalin. Let me say this, Ben, you're a nice guy, because you know why I say that? This is about our country.
Mm-hmm.
We lost 250,000 people. You shouldn't be smiling with Jackie. Seriously. That's why I'm angry.
Yeah, God.
This is not a joke.
Or are you right?
This is not a joke. Our people die because of this kind of thing. It's not a joke. You know why, Duke? We don't see eye to eye, but you know I respect him. He don't play with this kind of things. He damn serious. We have to be serious here. For Dillon and others, even today, Emma Straw is making threats.
I mean, they're all over the place.
You think they are?
Huh? They're threatening the
country. What the hell do you think they are?
What the hell these people think they are?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Because you
this is all laughing thing.
Kev, you're
right. He own Monserrato?
I agree with you.
Who the hell is Dillon? It's because of Mr. Cummings that they make Dillon senator today. Let's face it.
I'm quick to forget that.
Let's face it. If it was JMB, Dillon would not be senator today, because JMB could have destroyed the entire CPP. Let's be serious here. And my sister Jackie there. Jackie, you're a mother. There's a lot of children die. Let's be serious here. I don't laugh. I don't joke with that. This is serious business. One party passing around, threatening our nation. Some of us lose a lot of things. My father died because of frustration. He lose everything. We're not going to take this. We're not going to take this. One party passing around, Dillon passing there, talking, acting like he's the guy. He owns Monserrato. Liberia will never go back to war. Liberia will never go back to war. We will stand up. We will protect that country. Our people will not die again. Talking about if they don't win the election, they're under trouble. They're supposed to win the election. Who the hell Dillon think he is? One of the worst crook? Dillon know. He know what I know. And he know that. You know, some of us will not talk, but he know. Dillon is the one that do most of the deals in that Senate. He's a criminal. Who the hell Dillon think he is? But Ben, I don't blame Dillon. I blame you guys that put him there. I rest for now.
Wow. Kefigo at the United Nations General Assembly. Yes, Kefigo. But Kev, what are you and Dillon been to that play? They don't have Bian Malasari. Kev, so Kev. It's okay, you have bragging right with the men too, man. So I've been there too now. But look, we're in crunch time, people. The election is 18 days, and everybody will take their side.
Tomalin,
everybody's firing for all senators. Let's hear from Robert Gagwa.
Tomalin, I beg you 10 seconds. I need to take a small break. 10 seconds. I just want to say, and then I agree with Kev 100%. I think it's serious. You know, I think our country is at a very, very crucial place. And for the fact that a political party that have not even stayed good 6 years in opposition. We've had political parties in this country that have waited the line. CDC stayed 12 years in opposition. 12 years. Liberty Party, ANC, these parties have not even tasted state power. The Unity Party has been in power for 12 years. What all this desperation for? If the people want you to come back, they will vote for you. This notion that we're just supposed to sit down and just listen to threats and chopping things down our throat. You are not more Liberian than we are. So, Kev, I appreciate your strong words, and I think it is well within place, because when it comes to the issue of the security of our country, we must take it serious. Just want to read.
Before I bring in Robert, let me
and
just.
That's why the Liberian people will check to make sure our constitution is not violated.
Yeah, before I bring in Robert, let me say this. Look, I want to say thanks to Oni Roberts from True FM. The following counties listen to the show right now: Monserrato, Magibi, Cape Mount, Bombing, Bong, Bakulu, Riverset, River G, Nimba, Basso, Pass of Lofa, the Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Ivory Coast borders. We are live, being monitored on True FM.
We are the biggest. We are the biggest.
We're watching us, and so guys, let's go. We're gonna make this thing. It's crunch time. 18 days to go, and it's a closing argument. And then, as I said, the next few days leading to the election will be the closing argument. Come and make the compelling and convincing case about why your candidates should be elected. Robert Gagwa Jr., let's hear from you, brother.
Thank you. It's good to be back. I've been away for the past 2 days. Been busy, but it's good to be back. I would join the voices of others. And by the way, there have been Unity Party partisans, especially some who were in charge of the 2017 elections, who have frowned on what is happening. Because I remember in 2017, then NEC commissioner, how many times, Jackie, did was the final voters roll postponed? You remember?
What I'm talking about is the people exercising their constitution.
No. Well, I'm just asking.
What I'm talking about is NEC's ability to communicate.
Well,
even if it was postponed, is not the issue yet. The issue is NEC's failure, the government's failure to adequately finance NEC. NEC's failure. They asked NEC boss 1 month ago, how would you rate yourself? She said 10 out of 10. Who does that? Even the richest man in the world and the richest African man in the world, Dangote, Aliko Dangote, he will not do that.
Okay, Jackie.
Nobody
let me get my time
10
back.
out of 10. Anybody who feels they're 10 out of 10, good job.
Okay, Jackie.
That's a serious problem right there.
Okay, Jackie, let me get my time back because you didn't answer the question.
I am answering your question.
No, you're not. I was going somewhere with this. I was speaking.
The situation is NEC. I'm Ben Robert. The real situation
Jackie,
is
let me get my time.
Ability to communicate, to do what it needs to do, and not to be arrogant. And the people need to speak under the according to the constitutional right.
Okay, Jackie, can I get my time back now? Let me get my time back,
Jackie, nobody have done nothing.
Ask me a question responding to
you. Nobody have done anything. You're just rushing the thing.
I suggest you go read your own constitution. Let us
we suggest you start supporting rebels.
The Liberian people have a right to act. They are the boss here. They have a right to ask questions. They have a right to stand up in front of NEC. Let's not mislead the Liberian people just because you don't like Unity Party. This thing is not for Unity Party. It is about the constitutional right of the Liberian people, and nobody will mislead the Liberian people here and tell them they don't have to in front of NEC or to ask NEC questions.
It's the fact. The Unity Party is not
I don't like to
and not even Unity Party, call it the Campaign Alliance.
No,
Guys,
it is
guys,
actually
ANC is part of
guys,
it. ANC members part of
guys,
it.
let Robert talk.
Everybody part of it.
Unity Party is not a rebel institution.
Let Robert
That's
I
talk,
what
don't,
please.
Keff
Jackie.
said.
I don't like to. I don't
Robert
like to
talk, please.
interrupt. I don't like to
Robert.
interrupt
No, you
people.
asked me
But
a question,
no, I
Robert.
did. I asked
So
you a
I'm
simple
answering you.
question. You didn't
Robert, go
answer.
ahead.
You went
Robert, go ahead.
all over
Robert.
but answering the question. But I'm glad that you've interrupted me because I don't want you to complain about other people interrupting you. Right? I asked you a simple question, and the reason why I asked that question was because Unity Party was in charge of an election in 2011 and in 2017, and constantly, based on the record, we had issues with the release of the final photos roll. What's his name? Dillon is an integral part of the leadership of Unity Party's campaign. Beyond that, he is also a senator. He's a senator, and a few weeks ago, we all watched when they questioned the NEC commissioner, and there were many dissatisfactions put out there from a partisan's perspective and not a senator's perspective. Many people listen to he and Senator Kanga Lawrence and so forth and so on. Yesterday in a press conference, the commissioner made very clear that individuals who would like to get information on their voters card or voters whatever, they could go on the platform online, put in their voters registration ID number, and get the necessary information that they needed. She also reiterated next commitment to pull out the voters roll, the final voters roll. But the reason why I asked you that question was to again point out the hypocrisy when it comes to the Unity Party. I mean, I don't think that you thought that anyone who protests or ask questions about why the final voters roll was not released in 2011 and 2017 timely, as per what was communicated by NEC at the time, basically was disrupting the peace of our country. There is absolutely, at this stage that we're in right now, there is absolutely no reason for a protest with regards to the demands of the final voters roll, especially being led by a lawmaker. If Senator Dillon wants the final voter roll, Senator Dillon has a platform to end the challenge to go ahead and request the final voters roll. I don't think this final voter roll, I don't think NEC has refused not to release the final voter roll. They've also promised a weekly press conference where these questions and concerns are addressed, and they were addressed yesterday. No one is saying people don't have constitutional rights, Jackie. But remember, where your right ends as a Liberian is where another begins. We must all take into the consideration the peace with regards to these elections. When you have characters like Prince Johnson making threats that he believes that this election has been won already by Unity Party, and there have also been allegations of a wrecked election, even before observers and others have their final say on the process, it is dangerous. This perception of we've already won the elections, this perception of we've already secured 45.5% of the vote, this perception of the Liberian people are resolved on the basis of how many people showed up at ATS the other day, and this notion of a wrecked election are all implications of what Dillon and others are doing. You don't need a demonstration to have the final voter roll out there. You don't need that. And what he did today should be condemned. He had access to this woman. We can talk about whether or not NEC is faultly fairness. I expressed my dissatisfaction with the two phase of the registration process, especially since we're not doing two phase of the election. But what is this? What is this thing that Dylan is doing? This is wrong. What we should be protesting on, and Jackie, you fail to condemn comments made by the killer, the warmonger in person of Prince Johnson on this very platform. The entire country was listening. You refused to condemn his statements, which was a direct threat to our peace and our fragile peace and security. Dylan should be demonstrating against such a comment about turning Liberia into the Arab Spring if this election does not go Unity Party way. He should be condemning those statements. He should be protesting. This is what we should be demonstrating against. But you are out there demonstrating and demanding for a voters' roll when they've already been updates on the final voters' roll 24 hours earlier. We cannot do this. We cannot do this. Every one of us must commit to a free and fair process. And if the government failed to do its due diligence and put in place, areas where that needs to be put in, we should all condemn the government on that. But in these times, when you have people making allegations of a wrecked election, when you have people doing this was the same commissioner that conducted the special election that Dylan won. Were there problems? Were there questions? Or everything was good, right? Because the election result went his way, right? The election result went the opposition way. We can't do this. We can't do this. Give the NEC the opportunity to put up the information as need be. But all these protests, all of these comments, this is bad. When you conducted 2 elections and on many occasions, you did not release the final voter rolls as per your commitment. I didn't see that kind of protest going on and what have you. Come on, man. We can't do this. And let me close on this note. The peace that we enjoyed and the peace that Unity Party enjoyed for 12 years, when the peacekeepers were in Liberia, it's not the same peace that we've enjoyed for 6 years without the peacekeeper. It makes that peace even more fragile. And the last thing we will ever condone as Liberians is to entertain and to encourage these recklessness, these absurd comments coming from people who are supposed to be leaders in our country. There will be no war in Liberia. It doesn't matter which way these elections go. When the people speak, we must all respect their voices and we must all listen to them. And if there are grievances, there are appropriate ways to go about getting redress. We will not entertain all of this nonsense. This must stop. And we must all condemn such a thing. This is ridiculous.
Well, Robert, I'm surprised you didn't condemn CDC, the drugs that just came. They just found some new set of drugs. You didn't condemn that.
Let's talk about drugs. I have condemned drugs.
The United States Congress.
I have condemned drugs.
I have not heard you condemn it.
Don't do that,
because we're not here to endorse
the war on harmonization, the war on the people not having jobs and rule of law.
We're not here to endorse.
You want to
talk about rule of law when you shut down stations who criticize the government for 12 years, Jackie. You remember that?
Me? And the peace that we enjoy today,
you have political
measures were put in place by the Unity Party government.
You can talk about these things.
There was systems that were put in place for us to enjoy the peace that we enjoy today. That this government wanted to erode, but the Liberian people fight back all the time.
Look, okay, let me progress on the show. Look, again, let us reiterate. Let me reiterate. It is of concern to everyone about the voters' roll, the final roll. It is true that our election law calls that 30 days prior to the election, the voter roll should be published. And as we said, everybody has the right to raise his concern, just as you do it within a mechanism of the law, so that people can follow it instead of trying to lead to violence. That's all we're saying. And it is a right for people to raise concern about the voters' roll. That, in fact, during the last election, 2017, that was one of the issues the Supreme Court addressed in the final ruling, that they should clean the voters' roll and so forth. Just that the parties, most of them waited until the last minute to start raising the issue. I think they should have started talking from months ago. But again, it is good that discussions are being held and that the pressure is on NEC. Like I said today, when I spoke to the chairman of the commission, Madam Brown, she said that we should arrange through somebody she gave me the arrange so that she can address the issue. So hopefully, once I get to this person that she gave me to talk to arrange for her to appear or so, whatever through phone, whatever the case, I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions to ask and will be answered. So for now, yeah, let us move on. And we know the issue of voters' roll is front and center now. It's trending. Everyone is involved. The pressure is there, and I believe that hopefully by next week the issue will be resolved. We'll have that final list up. But it's true that the people have raised the raise concern because it fell short of within the threshold. But again, let us do it in a very peaceful manner. Yeah, but guys, moving on, let us also talk about this issue about the security of our election. In recent times, we've been hearing people making remarks about this election and that they're going to cause trouble. And so even the U.S. Embassy had to come out today to clarify some with the previous statement they made, telling people to take precautions. What they said is a routine process. Yeah. But we all know that the U.S. Embassy is speaking because of the recent remarks, threats being made by people from the political arena, that this election, if it doesn't go well, the people will resort into different means. But again, 2017, when Councillor Bromsky and the party felt that they were cheated in the election, they went to the Supreme Court, and that's why delayed the runoff. Because according to our election law, 15 days after the elections, the results will be announced within 15 days. But because of technology, I can tell you, election was held on the 10th. I can tell every one of you guys by the 12th, October 12th, we already know who the two parties are going to the runoff. Because I know there'll be no party winning first round. I mean, I don't see it, but we know by the 12th, the two parties will be going to the runoff, and then I'm sure NEC will announce by the 15th official start of the campaign for the runoff. So hopefully we'll work in that time. But I want your thoughts. We'll start with Dr. Peabody on this. Your thoughts about the issue of election security. Like people are saying, making all these threats and so forth. That based on that, we found out that the NEC, the ECOWAS, are all issuing statements now, including our own friends in the US. What are your thoughts about this issue? What people saying if they are cheated, they will resort into this violence and so forth. You think we are trending in the right direction?
Look, Tomalin, we have had 1, 2, 2 or 3 elections in our country. That was very peaceful. The fact is, you got a criminal killer like Prince Johnson, who is out there threatening the peace of our country. A man who created the situation that many Liberians find themselves in today. He was one of those. He was one of the perpetrators of the war and the thousands of people that died in that country. Prince Johnson, if I was him, I would just be quiet, sit back, and not even get into politics. But they rewarded him for all the people that he killed. He was rewarded, and he's back again, even being sanctioned. He's back again, threatening life. He got 500 men that could come out there and that could have protected him, that if anything happened. I think what we see here, what we are seeing here in the last few weeks, and the remarks that's coming up, is coming from one party. It's coming from one group, okay, that feel entitled to this presidency, that feel that they have already won, that feel that they're the only one can lead. They are the only one out there creating these kind of threat, or there's people who support them creating these kind of threat, thinking that, oh yeah, they're going to win and they're going to cheat them. So you already know they are setting the premises that if they don't win, then they can jump in the street and say, you know what, the cheated are. So now we are hearing the cheat, or the cheating. They did this, they did. It's coming from one party, one political party saying that. You know, Prince Johnson made a very serious threat. Now you got a sitting senator who's taking people to the election commission office and trying to stage demonstration or trying to impress people that he's so fair or he's so clean that he got all this going. And I think there is a need. I think there is security that been put in place. The other day I saw the police got new cars and everything. We may not be the perfect country, but if we had two elections that brought the opposition, okay, a lot of opposition that won in the Senate, that is an example. We all want peace. Nobody want anybody cheating in an election. I think it's free and fair. There have been a lot of things put in place for folks to see that nothing being hidden here. If any party is cheating in an election, we will know. We'll see it. You know, if they come in kind of cheat, we'll know. But you can't be putting our words and inciting Liberians, knowing that we have come from almost, we have not even recovered since the Civil War. We have not recovered from the Civil War. We have seen our country continually deteriorating. People, because we go there, we see buildings on shattered buildings. Some people did not make it. All of that, we have not recovered. Okay, and to have a guy like Prince Johnson, who was seen on video cutting another man's ear and cutting his private part and drinking beer, beating Mrs. Walter Allison to almost death. See a man beat how he beat that lady to death, sitting with her and slapping her. That lady that couldn't even move. He was beating her to death on national TV. A man who killed my cousin Truck Hill right in the presence of the aid worker. And you got him here sitting there threatening the peace of that nation. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. I think that Prince Johnson is one of those that should be monitored closely as the election goes. They should be monitored. If possible, put surveillance on him to monitor him because he's already making threats that he can do it. He can bring it. He needs to be monitored. General Buck Nickey, who burned people alive in homes, put gas and fire on them. It came from his own mouth. And he is sitting there today, all of them gathering together to fight another war. And we are sitting there and dignifying it because we want to win the election. Nobody going to talk because we want to win the election on court. And we're not saying anything for these people. These are people who are seen on national video. The U.S. government sanctioned Prince Johnson. We should not be condoning these kind of people in our society. It's important that Prince Johnson be monitored. They should have a surveillance on him. And all those who are creating these fake things around time that, if we don't win, this is going to happen. That you crying cheat. The baby ain't born yet. You already talking about the baby. Somebody took the baby eye from them. What sense does that make? And I think it's important. You know, I believe like Bureau will not go to war. I believe people will not. But those who are now calling for these kind of demonstration and violence in the street need to be monitored so that after the election, if anything happens and people get on the street and die, they need to be sanctioned and sent to the ICC so they can face charges. Thank you.
Yeah, well, look, this election is, as we say, is crucial. It's coming to the drawing to the wire, and everyone making a case and getting involved. And Liberia right now, the war is focused on Liberia now. ECOWAS, the United Nations, the African Union, the European Union, they're all focused on Liberia now. I just got information that the United States Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs will be arriving in the country, I think next week, as guest from the U.S. government to monitor these elections. And a team of, I think, some Congress people from the United States will also be coming to monitor these elections. And so, I mean, look, Liberia for the next few days, everyone will be watched, will be monitored. And so we pray that election will be peaceful and transparent and honest, credible, inclusive, so that Liberian people can get to go to the polls and exercise their franchise. That's the voice, that's the vote matters, so that the results should be respected. And once the result is announced by NEC, And again, I was told when I was talking to the NEC guy today, he said, in fact, he said the law, two observers from every party are represented at every polling station. So that in case he says when someone want to go to the bathroom, the other person will remain there. So that to make sure that they have to keep an eye on the process. He also said, as we speak, NEC is now training party observers, agents. They are being trained. Observers are also being they have also been trained now. They're having workshop for them, training them so that they monitor the polls, they be at the polls. So for instance, he said, if for instance, I go to a place to vote. If Kev is an observer for the party, Kev is not satisfied with me, that's already raising an issue about me. So he said they are training people. So let us just keep an eye on the process. In fact, we will be in Liberia too. The closing argument we'll be there. We'll be reporting to the good that nobody our full money in anybody's mouth. So we'll be playing our part too. We'll be reporting all over the place. We'll be there on election day. Soon in the morning, I'll go Habel and vote. When I vote Habel, I will contact Keff, Peabody, and Ben. We'll interface to go to our own war room and start to monitor the process. But let's hear from Duke, man. Duke, let's hear from you on the issue of the security of the election and the issue the threats being made by other people in the process.
No, and I maintain that all of us should rightfully be definitely concerned about electoral integrity, and I think it's part of democracy. What I disagree with is that when people intentionally use that to stay away from criticizing those who have been at the forefront of making, inflammatory comments, as you read in the recent ECOWAS condemnation of the response of Prince Johnson. Every time we come on the show, it seems like people who support the Unity Party continues to stay away from, talking about the issues that are important. Tomalin, we are saying, right, that we agree, using the Unity Party slogan or whatever it is, that nobody should, tamper with the elections. There's no argument against that. We're also saying that a certain political party is not entitled when it comes to leadership in that country. And to start building an illusion and start carrying things around and trying to live this pretense that you have won elections in Liberia is it is even more dangerous, right, than criticizing other people for doing things that will cause the election to be compromised. So we can't be criticizing one group and then leaving the others who are clearly not aligned with what they're preaching about. But in the end of Tomalin, I will say this here to you: the Liberian people remain concerned about those critical issues in terms of employment, jobs, in terms of integrity, the issue of corruption. And I think that's what the focal point will be. Which one of these candidates come with the resume or the expertise required to solve those issues? And I've said this repeatedly on the show that Alexander Cummings bring forth all of those things that we're looking to resolve in terms of the problems, right? And the other guy who's been in government for 50 plus years has been at the center of corruption, even more corrupt than George Weah. Because if we go back to the amount of money, the dollar amounts that have been given or was given during his tenure at LPMC and the Ministry of Agriculture, it is evident that this man's been at the forefront of corruption before. But Tomalin, the CPP continues to lead the way when it comes to respecting other political parties, when it comes to making sure that, we're doing the right thing. This is why when all of those political parties claim that, they had the rally going on the 6th, we said that we're going to do it on the 1st. So on the 1st, we're going to be at the ATS in our numbers, taking over the entire Monrovia and letting the people know that we're ready to leave from day one. But election integrity is an important issue, but I don't think that it helps your message when you have people that butt naked who's running around calling himself rescue fighter, when you have a man like Prince Johnson who's threatening to rain bullets down the throats of the Liberian people. We know what he's capable of doing. And you know what? People may not like what I say on this show, but I will continue to speak to the facts. The Unity Party is surrounded by people who've orchestrated some of the worst atrocities in that country. We know the former vice president was supportive of the PRC regime that led to the slaughtering of other Liberians who served in government because of corruption. We know that Prince Johnson, who supports the former vice president and has been threatening to execute Liberians if this election does not really go in accordance to whatever script they were living, was at the forefront of executing Samuel Doe. We also know that he beat Walter Allison. Those videos are circulating. We know that he murdered the council robbers. We know Prince Johnson's been at the center of violence in Liberia. But these are things that the Unity Party feels comfortable around, including the former vice president. And so I don't really look for anything, in terms of civility or anything in terms of consciousness from people like Jackie when they're talking about, integrity and actual violence. But I know one thing, Tomalin, that this is not 1990. The days wherein people were just forced to accept whatever was given to them. Those days are past, and those people who were threatening war should be very mindful, because the Liberian people don't want that. But you continue to push violence, we'll make sure that we'll turn you over to the international community to make sure that you're facing the full flesh of your actions. But in the end, Tomalin, I'm against rigging elections. I don't think it will happen in this case. But I only think the reason why Darius Dillon and others are pushing this agenda is because they have built an illusion that will end up being a disappointment in the end, that they've won an election that I think is far from the truth. But overall, I know that the Liberian people will do the right thing. And in this case, we're not going to elect people who are supporting rebels.
In his sixth address to the United Nations General Assembly on Wednesday, Liberia's President George Manneh Weah assured the world body that his government will conduct a free, fair, credible, inclusive, and transparent elections. He also said it's the first elections that has been held under the auspices of the Liberian government without international security assistance, and also being funded by the Liberian government. He assured them that Liberia, he have already conducted several senatorial and representative elections over the 6-year period, and everything has gone well. And he reassured that the board body that his government will ensure a free, fair election. So we're holding by his word. The word is holding by his word, and we're sure that the president, as addressed the world body, he was clear with that. So let us continue to remain hopeful, and that this election will be free, fair, and credible. And we should stop beating the drums of war and violence and chaos, because again, no one has monopoly over violence. So, and Liberians, we have vowed to study war no more. We have vowed that we'll not go down that thread. So we all got to remind ourselves that if war should come in our country and then chaos, it will affect every one of us, even us in the diaspora, because we have families, we got friends, loved ones in Liberia too. And we can't afford to go back to the war years. So, Keff, I would like for you to weigh into on the issue of security and also the threats being made.
Yeah, thank you, Tomalin. As you stated, the president's speech in front of world leaders, and I will say this, it's an experience that I will take for long in my life to see to be among world leaders. But let's say this, guys. Let's look at history. Conducting election under this government. Can anyone on this platform, all my colleague here,
Kev frozen. So what Kev frozen? Let Jeff and Robert then go to the chairman on the Kev and come back.
No, I'm back. I'm back now.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep having some problem with my internet in this neighborhood. So but
they're hacking you now.
No, it is America. It's not hacking. This is America. Everybody think that it's all smooth, but you do have issues in this country also too. So let's look at this government. Nobody can point out any history of this government conducting election which this government rig? Nothing. We had the 2020 election, which the opposition ran ran the board. What did they? They won seats. They don't won election twice in Monserrato. We had a lot of areas. Nothing. Free and fair election. And we congratulated them. Why now they are on the streets talking about this election? But I know why. It's easy. I know why. Because the internal poll telling them they are losing. It's simple as anything. The internal poll telling them they are losing. So in order to this not accepting this, so what they're doing is they're pushing the scare tactics. You know, it reminds me of my party in America here, my Republican Party. My Republican Party, we knew we were losing to Biden. What we were saying, they rigged the election. And our good man, Trump, what he did, he organized the January 6th. What Dylan and others are doing now, they are organizing, they want to organize the January 6th, and they are organizing the January 6th. That's what they're doing. That's the plan. That's the January 6th plan they are doing. Oh, wait now, your you know, my former colleague will say that Benensi Papi from my mouth. You're listening to it. What they're doing right now, that January 6th, they're organizing. They know. And you know how they know? What happened in Lofa right now? What I know, what I'm seeing, what I'm understanding, it will be a shock in Lofa. Open your eyes. Because of that. So you hear my sister Jackie and them will talk about this, talk about what they want to do. Oh, they're running behind our right. There are a lot of intelligent people within the CPP. They understand what's going on. You see them on the street? Why the Unity Party? Because they're smelling it. Why you think they're attacking two fronts? My people, you're listening. Why you think they're attacking two fronts? They will attack the CPP, they will attack the CDC because they are smelling something. You know, the Unity Party would like to say, oh, the CPP, you are nothing. But then why are you attacking them? Why are you attacking them? Because they know that the CPP is a threat for them in the Basel Belt. They know the CPP is a threat for them in Monserrato. They are not stupid. They are not. This election is between the CPP and the CDC. The Unity Party, they are a thing of the past. If you love Liberia, you will move forward because this election is not about the past. The past failed us. And I will say, let me say this. You don't have to be Unity Party partisan to answer my question. Just be fair to your Liberian people. Be fair to my question. If anybody can tell me a signature achievement of Joe Buckeye on this platform, then we'll have something to talk about. Be fair. Put things on the side. Ben Sanvee, you are a man you ran for election. You know our body politics. Please explain to the Liberian people the signature achievement of Joe Buckeye. Do not tell me about Ellen. The reason why I'm saying this, because he said he was a packer. They ain't use him. He's a 0 mileage under Ellen. So I want everybody, Jackie, come on, tell us signature achievement. Don't pivot. Mr. Tomalin, George, you've been in this politics for long. You're a founding member of CDC. Please tell us, who is Joe Buckeye? The real Joe Buckeye, let him stand up. Who is Joe Buckeye? Tell us.
Okay.
Please, let me say this. And Peabody, you guys, let me say to Duke and Robert, you guys are young guys, smart guys, very intelligent guys. Because I know you guys, yeah. If I ask Robert now to tell me about John F. Kennedy, Robert will tell me. If I ask Duke, Duke will tell me. It ain't got nothing to do with age, because the history is there. Can somebody tell me who Joe Buckeye is before he become a vice president and during his vice president tenure? Tell me. Underdog. Tell me. Maybe they will say Duke talking about the PL 480. Maybe we'll put that aside. But tell me, any other things? Because Duke say, "Oh, PL say, oh, you're talking about." Tell us what this man brought to our country when he was the head of the Green Revolution. I pose a question to you guys, including the audience. Radio Land, you tell us the signature achievement of Joe Buckeye. I rest for now.
Wow. Yes. By the way, yes, we're expecting information I'm getting saying we're expecting either Molly Fee, the Assistant Secretary for African Affairs at the United States State Department, or Jonathan Pratt, the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary of State at the Bureau of African Affairs, to be leading the U.S. delegation to our elections on October 10th. So again, the U.S. government is attaching importance to these elections. They'll be sending a high-powered delegation to monitor our election. Also, congressional delegation, including some U.S. senators and representatives, will also be in the country to observe these elections. And all these people will make a report. The European Union, they all may report after the process is over. We saw what happened in Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and so forth. And so, again, we expect elections to be peaceful, credible, transparent, and inclusive. So let us pray for our elections, our process, and let us encourage our leaders to stop issuing walls of drum war. That election, they already finished or determined the outcome of the elections. You can't do that. You should be saying that we are hopeful, we are confident that my side will win. But to be saying if we don't win, we're resorting to this thing, to that thing, I don't think is fair to the people who will be voting. Because you're saying that, so like Kev said, when Donald Trump kept saying that he would be cheated, but we know the election in America was free and fair. We know that it was free and fair. Even all the entire Supreme Court, where he appointed 3 persons on that court, ruled against him on all occasions. He didn't win no case. But again, we believe our process will be free and fair, and we'll be around to also monitor the process to and give our own account. But with that, let's welcome again the Chairman Sanvee. You want to chime in too on this issue of security and of the election and the drums of war that are being beat by the people in the arena?
Well, first of all, thank you. And I think we're getting a feedback from somebody. I don't know. Okay. Look, we will have credible elections in Liberia. We will. This is the 21st century. I think, again, like I said before, is it going to be free of challenges? No. No election is free of challenges. Even in this country that we all live in, they have issues with election integrity. But the beauty about that is that there is a process that is laid out. There's a process that is laid out for you to be able to address issues that may arise. Tomalin, you were right on point when you said in 2017, when the party that I was national chairman of at that point in time felt there were irregularities, gross irregularities, we took our case to the National Elections Commission. We went through the process. And you know, one of the most disappointing things that I see is that people who were then a part of that process are today the ones who are masquerading and trying to beat drums of war and doomsday for our country. What country are you going to govern if you burn the place down? What country are you going to govern if people get hurt? In 2017, former Vice President Joseph Boakai, to his credit, made a statement. And he said, no Liberian blood is worth me being president. That was what he said in his concession speech. So I am utterly shocked when I hear the drums and the echoes coming from within his camp. Because let's be fair, no other opposition party beating war drum. Yes, I've heard the CPP raise issues of election integrity, valid issues. I think I heard Dr. Monimba today, I think sometime today or yesterday, speaking on the issue of the voters' roll. This is what responsible political institutions will do. You go through the process. Look, let me say this. If Unity Party feels after this election that they cheated, they will go to NEC. If they're not satisfied what NEC says, they will go to that very Supreme Court. That's what they will do. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. It is called the Republic of Liberia. It is not the Republic of Unity Party or the Republic of Joe Boakai. Prince Johnson tirade. We all know, everybody know what my position is when it comes to Prince Johnson. I'm not going to regurgitate it. I'm not going to repeat it. But it is despicable. And my message is to the ordinary partisans of the Unity Party. You see all the people you're running behind? They will be the first to leave you hanging. Remember now, Darius Dillon still got 6 years left on his senatorial term. Yombi Kanga Lawrence still got 6 years left on her senatorial term. Prince Johnson is trying to get another 9 years. Your vice standard bearer Jeremiah Coons still got 6 years left on his senatorial term. Prince Moyi, all the leadership of your party, your rescue ente, she can fly to America anytime. Because she's another one that I see passing around, beating all these hyping things up. Oh, and this will happen if this don't happen. All these big mouth people, big mouth. Nothing they will do. They will take y'all and put y'all in the front. And when law enforcement take action, they will say, oh no, But let me warn you, to the partisans of Unity Party, these people will not burn the system down. You know why they will not burn the system down? Because where will they survive for the next 6 years with other senatorial jobs? Where will they survive? Which job will they hold? So then they stop all this bluff. And I'm calling on my friend Dylan. I'm calling on him today. Stop all this bluff. You and me know you ain't gonna do squat. Squat, you won't do. Just stop this foolishness. Liberia is bigger than any country. If the Liberian people go to the polls and freely and fairly re-elect George Weah, he will be our president. If they go to the polls and freely and fairly elect Joseph Boakai, he will be our president. So will Ellis Cummings. So with Clarence Moniba. So with all the other people. But this notion that if it's not you, then the whole country should burn down. I dare you. We dare you. And I will end on this note. You know, I love the Americans. I tell people all the time, I know where my bread butter. So I'm pro-American. Very pro. I am as pro-American as they come. I love what the Americans can do. Some of the people that are making all the noise, they got interest in this country. They got homes here. Their kids are in schools here. I won't see them raise a finger. I won't see them do it. They ain't gonna do squat. And so that's why I said to you, you're the normal small partisans. You follow them. You follow them and be pumping your veins and acting like you're doing it for the country. They're only in this thing for themselves. We will not go back to war. We will preach peace. We will preach fair, credible, and transparent elections. And this platform, like we say, we don't delve in conspiracy theories here. We will not gaslight the situation. Liberia will be okay. Liberia will not die if Unity Party stay in opposition for another 6 years. The country will not die. The country will not burn, let the people can say. So I just want to say on that note, all these paper tigers and fake gangsters, they're the 5 people who can be running under the table, under the chairs. Like I said, they have a stake in this process. I dare them to say they must bring the system down. I want to see where they will go. They will be, in fact, let me say this for you, Unity partisans. They will be the first to go in the back and go cut a deal. They will be the first to come out and go congratulate and say, oh, you know what, it's okay. We will have free, fair, transparent election. Will there be challenges? I'm sure there will be. And if those challenges arise, share how Liberty Party went through the system, everybody will go through the regular system. And when the Supreme Court rules, if you disagree with it, you will disagree with it, but you will respect the verdict and the opinion of the courts. I rest.
Thank you. So, just again, let me say this. I want to say thank to our manager, the manager at Truth FM, Oni Roberts. This show is being simulcast in Montserrado, Magibi, Kidman, Bombing, Bong, Bapolo, Riverside, River G, Nima, Paso Lofa, Sierra Leone, and Guinea and Ivorian borders live. Oh, who's that? Mariah there? Oh, I'm just joking. I'm there. Oh, she's looking natural. But anyway, that's big progress. Welcome, Mariah. Well, yeah, for Robert. Before we go to
you know,
John who just came up.
Every time it's hard to just speak after Ben. The chairman can always look like he fired up, ready to go. But I will try. But let me say this. I will pick up where Ben left off. Free, fair, and credible elections is not predicated on Unity Party winning only. Let's be as explicit as we can be. Free and fair and look, you have CDC in these elections. You have Alice Cummings in these elections. You have Dr. Clarence Monova in these elections. You have Gongwo and many others. Free and fair and credible elections is not predicated on Unity Party winning or going to the runoff. A friend of mine from Unity Party said to me the other day, just think about this, Robert. Can you imagine if CPP or Cummings goes to the runoff? Does that even make sense? Does that not automatically mean that they rigged the election? How can a party who has 7% just under 6 years ago come now in 2023? Then a party here will go to the runoff beyond above a party who had 12 years and who were the number two in 20 in
Ellen
20.
had less than 10% in 97 and came by in 2003 and won the
And but how much? There you go. But it goes back to this mindset. I said for him, and I said this is wow. I said this is dangerous. You're my buddy, but this thought process is very very dangerous. But this is what I believe that Unity Party believes. I believe that Unity Party believes that the Liberian. This is why they won't say our partisans are resolved. This is why they say the Liberian people are resolved. Because they are convinced that the Liberian people, regardless of which party they represent, have concluded that if George Weah should be defeated, Unity Party and Joseph Boakai must be the alternative. That is not the reality. That is not the reality. But with regards to this whole piece, Tomalin, I will continue to say this. For me, I'm not scared of nobody. My lunch money is not in nobody's pocket or nobody's mouth. And I'm not attached to nobody political party, so I can freely speak. And by the way, I go to Liberia today. You can't do me nothing. Don't even try it, because if you run up on me, I believe in self-defense. I was taught that in high school. I went to school in this country. If you run up on me, I will exercise self-defense. So don't even do it. It won't be good. Don't do it. So I will speak. But you see, I don't blame characters like Prince Johnson. I don't blame characters like Butt Naked. I mean, the name. See, even saying the names that disgust me. You see, because we allow these characters to thrive after what they did to our people. We did an exercise called the TRLC, and nothing became of the TRLC. We did not hold anyone accountable for their actions. Can you imagine if Prince Johnson was in handcuff like this white missionary? Can you imagine if Prince Johnson was at South Beach? Can you imagine if the pastor in chief now, who was formerly butt naked, was actually preaching to inmates at South Beach instead of roaming around Monrovia? You see, these people would not be brave enough to issue threats. But what is even more concerning, and this is the reason why I'm not afraid to say that I cannot vote for a party that have surrounded themselves with some very questionable characters. And this is why I was asking Cummings. Cummings is a very intelligent man. He won't take the bait, and I know Mariah won't even take the bait, right? Because they're still talking behind the scenes. But this is why I can publicly say I can never under my dead body without support a Unity Party. Look at these characters. Look at Prince Johnson, butt naked. Look at these characters. Look at your former colleague from Spoon. Look at these characters. These are people that help get Liberia to the Liberia we are today. These are the characters. And Dylan, I don't blame Dylan. I blame CPP to some extent, because CPP made Dylan. Dylan would not have succeeded and call himself the light, even though he's exhibited more darkness, if CPP did not give him the backing. And I'm sorry to say, I've always seen Dylan to be, I mean, he thinks and he talks like a fourth grader. His actions exemplifies all of that. You know what I mean? I mean, these are the people we see as the most intelligent in our country. These are the people. Look at the people we look up to. Look at the people we call heroes and sheroes. Look at these people. And then you start asking, what are their records? What have they done? What have they achieved? Look, Liberia have no option but to be peaceful. Absolutely, period. This country will sustain the peace that we have enjoyed. We will continue to be peaceful, and we will continue to voice our concerns with regards to ensuring of free, fair, and credible elections. It is a must. We will put this government feet to the fire to ensure a free, fair, and credible elections. But to those who think that they can use their position, they can use their platforms, they can use their monies. Some of these guys were broke a few weeks ago. They were broke a few years ago. What was Dylan's job for a few years ago? What was his job a few years ago? What did he earn? You know, we got to be careful here. We will continue to enjoy peace in our country, Tomalin. There will be no war. There will be absolutely no war. And not only is the international community watching, we are watching too. The investment we've made in that country over the years, we will not sit by and allow them to go in thin air by irresponsible statement and irresponsible people. That will not happen. And so, yes, all of us must demand a free and fair elections. It is a must. This government knows. George, President Weah knows. But the Unity Party who feels that anything short of a win or reaching a runoff is indicative of a wrecked election, you must be very careful, because you probably may not make the runoff. And it will be because the people spoke. Just the way ANC and the CPP and others must respect, if you went the other way, you will be required, my friend, to respect that. And in my closing, I will continue to give credit to Councillor Charles Bromsky. I think he set the bar and he set the standard of how we seek redress when there are grievances. He went to court. He exercised that right. And even when the Supreme Court ruled, when he did not like it, he respected that ruling. This is how civilized people are expected to behave. And we must be civilized. And if you refuse to be civilized, we will beat civilization in your head. We will beat it in your skull. We will beat it in your brain until you are civilized. So you want to be a thug? Go in the streets. You want to be a gangster? Go in the streets and see what happens. But like I said the last time to Prince Johnson, if he's listening, today's price is not the same as yesterday's price. And so what you bought, what you saw and was bought, when you killed those folks on cameras, when you did what you did, won't be allowed this time. We won't buy it this time. So you better throw wisely.
Okay, before I bring Mariah in, let me, studio, I want you to play that.
All our partisans of the Coalition for Democratic Change. Greetings also to all well-meaning Liberians and peaceful citizens of this country. We have been listening out for the last few days. We've been listening to, let's say, former General Prince Johnson trying to make some intimidating and beating war drums. We want to make it very clear to Senator Prince Johnson that he's no lord and master in this country. No one is intimidated by his sentimental and threatening statements. He cannot threaten a duly elected government, a legitimate national government, and sit around here trying to intimidate people. Nobody will submit to Prince Johnson. He's nobody, and he should respect himself, otherwise we're going to disrespect him. He should watch himself. Nobody is scared of war in this country, and he should not bring no war drum and start beating unnecessarily in this country. We are not interested in violence. We are interested in going through a democratic process. if he does not respect the democratic process that made him senator and change his life, he should respect God that he claimed to serve. They're not threatening the people of Liberia here every day, war. If we don't win, there will be war, Arab Spring. Who in the hell is he to talk about Arab Spring or intimidate anybody? Those who know Senator Prince Johnson, please warn that man that he should respect his age as an elderly citizen in this country. If he wants to be recognized and respected, he must respect himself. Nobody. You cannot destroy the peace that we are enjoying in this country simply because of your own personal desire and your ego. I'm certain that the people of Nimba do not listen to such callous and reckless statements that are made by him. And I want to make it clear, sound it out to all our partisans and all citizens of this country. Do not listen to any junk of that nature that's being propagated by Senator Prince Johnson. The people of Nimba County do not follow him. They are not going to follow him down a slippery road. They have built their county. It's developed with industries, factories, processing plants, and all those things are in Nimba. People are living a peaceful life and enjoying themselves and trying to build their future. He should not come and destroy it because he thinks that people will capitulate when he begins to make statements. He's a former general, a failed general. He did not succeed in no military thing. I mean, he has to watch himself, otherwise we're going to label him all sorts of names. We respect the Farmington Agreement that was signed between and among us, and those who do not respect it, then they should get out of the democratic process. We want to proceed. If he got a political drum to beat, let him beat it. If he has any positive comment to make about the democratic process or admonishment to our citizens, he should do that and stop threatening people. Nobody's going to fall for that. And they got men in this country. We are men in this country. We cannot be intimidated by nobody. So he must watch himself, and nobody should pay attention to that callous, reckless old man who has nothing decent to say but war. We want to sound a warning to him. We'll continue to deal with the political process and continue to go on and campaign vigorously in all counties to make sure that the Coalition for Democratic Change win another 6-year term. Like it or not.
Okay, look, Maria, I bring you in. You see, this is what happens if someone when you start to make threats. Like we always say, no one has violence over violence. You don't have monopoly over it. So you're hearing from another side saying that if you think you're going to beat the war drums, we too will do it. And that's why we're trying to avoid. So that's what we play for, to know that you can't, when you start issuing threat, other people issue threat, then the thing gets out of hand. And that's why we don't want to lead our country to. But chime in, and that will hear from you on this issue.
But that was Siri Allen from the NPP, formerly of the NPFL.
Yep.
And I remember I said on this show, and I've said on social media, that the Unity Party and the CDC are going to make these elections about NPFL and INPFL. It's a rebirth of the civil crisis now in the political space. It's the NPFL versus INPFL. And so it's no surprise that, Chief Siri Allen is responding to Prince Johnson's threat. And it's also possible that others from the NPFL, the former or now-defunct NPFL, will also respond. And that's what happens when you start to beat war drums. Because the generals and the warriors and those who fought the war will respond, because that's what they know. Our country does not deserve this at this point. We don't. I mean, and I've said this before, and I would say, I remember I told my dad once that your generation didn't do well for us. You didn't make the decisions you made got us to where we are. And it's sad that my son might likely tell me the same thing, that your generation did not do well for us, and the decisions you guys are making, will have us where we are. And it becomes a vicious, toxic cycle. And this is where we, from the CPP and Mr. Alexander B. Cummings, comes in. How do we break this cycle? How do we move this country forward, not get stuck in the present and not go back to the past? Look, I listened to Ben and I listened to Robert, and there are not many disagreements, but I have a bit of a difference. I think the Unity Party, now being clearly led by Prince Johnson, is very serious about what they're saying. You don't underestimate people who are desperate for power, who are desperate to come back to what they had and what they see other people now enjoying or having. Let us not forget that this is Joseph Boyka's last try. Whether he wants to or not, whether he likes it or not, whether they like it or not. And Unity Party has no more Joseph Boyka among them. To say the people love him, he's been in 40 years, he's elderly, there's sympathy, there's respect. That dynamic ends with JMB. They got nobody else. And so for them, this is do or die. When we start to, in a way, minimize what they're saying and say we dare them, they can do it, we're underestimating them. Maybe I say it because I've been with supporting the Unity Party before. These are not people to play with. When Unity Party lost 2017, JMB was magnanimous enough to say, we accept the results and there will be no bloodshed on my head, because he knew there was a chance for him in 2023 to run again. There's no chance in 2029. There's none. Nature won't allow it. And even the people in the Unity Party may not allow it. And the Liberian people will not allow it. And so this desperation, and every time, when they used to come, Mr. Cummings desperate, I will laugh and say, you're projecting. This desperation from the Unity Party is what is causing them to get to this point. And if you think they're joking, look at who else they're recruiting. General Botnick. It's an army. And in fact, he calls himself rescue soldier. Have you guys seen the picture?
Brave.
Can we put it up?
Can we show the picture, please?
Can you imagine? Brave.
Rescue soldier.
Yeah.
This is someone who slaughtered Liberians. This is someone who killed Liberians as a general during the civil crisis, and comes back and calls himself rescue soldier. In fact, in front of his shirt, he says, don't try it. It's the same don't try it that Prince Johnson said when he said, if we don't win the elections, there will be Arab Spring. It's a thing. They're dead serious. And we may be joking about it. We may be dismissive about it. We may think they're not serious. But even our international friends know the severity. And that's why ECOWAS has put out a statement. They know. There's a proliferation of not just drugs in this country, but of guns. We saw when they arrested a cache of guns. We've heard media reports of guns coming through the border. We've seen these things and read about them. Where are the guns that were arrested the last time? We're sitting on a time bomb. And you have a former ruling party who had influence and access over not just persons in the police, state security, apparatus, security, whatever it is, now in bed with former generals and rebel leaders, threatening the peace and security of the Liberian people. For what? Elections? Somebody told you that being president was an inheritance? Who died and left it in the will for you? Where's this sense of entitlement coming from? That you are threatening our lives, our children's future, our investments, our time, our country. Because if you don't win elections, there can be only one winner. One winner. And it's either going to be the Unity Party, it's either going to be the CPP, it's either going to be the CDC, or maybe in the extreme case, Gonglo. One. And because there can only be one winner, it is also 90%, even 100% possible that Unity Party can be a loser. The credibility of the elections does not depend on Unity Party winning. It does not. And the sooner you start to tell your partisans that it is possible that we can now win these elections, and stop making people feel like not only can you not win in the elections at all, you cannot even win first round, the better it will be for each and every one of us. Because guess what? Whether you like it or not, Alex Cummings may likely be in the second round. And when he gets in the second round, whether it's with you, Unity Party, or with you, CDC, he will beat you. So then the elections will not be credible. It's also possible that CDC could win again. That's incumbent. That's incumbent.
I mean, I don't know where all
and whether we like it or not, CDC still has a strong base. Liberians are disenchanted, yes. But that's the ruling party. It's also possible that you may win. So when you win, we must say the elections was rigged too.
Thank you. Thank you.
CDC should say the elections was rigged too.
And say we will not turn over power to you.
People in the streets and say there will be Arab Spring because you won. What nonsense is this?
Mariah, can I send you
Who are you?
Can I send you a whole crick of cold beer, man, tonight?
Let's start. She can
Let's start. Let's start. Okay. Damn it. You fired.
We started to the end of the show, not ever.
Speak. I will use my time to you. Speak.
No, continue, please. Peabody,
I will use my time to you.
We're mesmerized.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This is it's egregious. It is devious. It's not just ridiculous, but it is evil. That a country that has suffered so much, you claim Liberians are suffering and you want to rescue them. But if you don't, then you put them back in the worst position.
Wow.
So if you can rescue them, then you must take them back to war.
Yeah.
So what do you want to rescue really? Yourselves? Your pockets? Because it cannot be about the Liberian people. It just cannot be. What has changed from 2017 to now? The fact that your chances have evaporated and this is your last try. Look, we're all in these elections to win it. But nobody's stupid here. There can only be one winner. And we will continue to fight, and we dare the CDC that these elections are not free, fair, and credible. But we will fight and continue to ensure that the elections are free, fair, and credible. And part of that responsibility is on us as political parties to ensure that we have poll watchers at every polling station.
Thank you.
If you can't afford to have poll watchers at polling stations, like you couldn't afford in local party, and they whooped you, don't project that on the entire country. That is your failure. That is your responsibility. The government has the responsibility, and they must handle the responsibility. We as political parties have our responsibilities, and we must handle our responsibilities. Don't shift blames. Don't start to project your loss that you're already anticipating because you know that you cannot afford to have poll watchers at all 5,000 polling stations times 2. That's almost 10 to 12,000 poll watchers you need. Do you even have your list of poll watchers now? With less than 20 days to campaign to elections day.
And CPP, we're not sharing polling thing with them. I just let you know.
Do you? And this is where my frustration comes in. Because at the end of the day, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. And in your failure to prepare, you're not projecting that if we don't win or if we fail, then the entire country must go back to war. Look, other people might say, oh, yeah, watch on me. I scared of war. Because I can say I was war baby. I didn't have a child.
All of us, yeah.
I was born April, the war started December 89. So when I hear war, my whole body can shake.
Yep.
You please stop beating that war drum. You please ask me, oh, we have firecracker, we can run. You please stop beating that war drum.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, this country belongs to every single Liberian. This is the Republic of Liberia and not the Republic of Unity Party. And you all need to know that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tomalin George, give me 1 second, please. You see why I said that we should have the debate between CDC and the CPP? Because the country is about moving forward. I don't agree with Mariah politically. No, we had our differences on air, but we have to move this country forward. We have to. And if you mean well for Liberia, you have to move this country forward. Mariah said 89. Well, what is she saying? I never enjoy my life. Never as a human being in my country. She grew up with the gun sound in her ears. So then you want her son to grow up in the same manner? She's a mother. And that's why she's speaking. So this election should be between CDC and CPP, not a Unity Party. Because when you bring Unity Party in, what will happen? That war. Oh, if I win, then we'll destroy the country. Yeah, man, that Oma, my Mary, who's selling every day, will have to run again. We'll have to see herself in a refugee camp. We have to fight to take away the Unity Party. It's a thing of the past. And let me say this clearly, Ben Sanvee and others. Let me say this clearly. This is not the vision of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
Oh no, hell no.
That's not the party that she
Nope.
formed.
The party was hijacked.
Nope.
It was.
This is not the vision. The Unity Party now, this is not the Unity Party of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
We got 4 more minutes to go.
Let Jackie talk, please.
So let me get my minutes in order. Y'all not talk.
This is not
after Keff.
Keff, you next.
But Keff already talked.
This is not a Unity
Party.
Party.
Keff already talked before on this round.
Jackie, I always say this. You know, some of us that grew up in the church, you always say, when the devil heard the name Jesus Christ, he trembled. And that's what you're doing right now.
Keff, you grew up in church?
United Pentecostal Church in Birmingham.
Yeah. Apparently you trimmed the guy scared of Unity Party.
I like the fact that you're calling ANC.
All day you're talking about Unity Party on this show.
Let me finish that.
Let me wind down. You're talking about UP all day.
Y'all want to threaten our peace.
Let me wonder.
Well, that you're the one threatening the peace because you're the one using words
anybody
who
don't
condemn Prince Johnson on the platform, Jackie. I won't hear
anybody who don't condemn Prince Johnson.
Condemn CDC, the war on drugs, the war on humanization.
I condemn CDC for the war on drugs. Condemn Prince Johnson.
Condemn CDC. The Congress,
Jackie to
Congress
interrupt, man.
the United States Congress spoke
Not
on
Jackie, leave people here with your Congress story, man.
We refuse to play. Have we played that video? You're focusing on other things. Have we played it?
Congress dealing with a problem.
Yeah, but
the voter registration cards that were called in grand jury and all over the place. Have we played the video to educate the voters?
You know what they're doing?
This is what matters today.
Ben, leave it.
This is what matters
You know what they're
today.
doing? You know what they're doing?
Maba Malu said the president exploited the presidency.
People, man.
Maba Malu said that. Should we play it? Let's play it. Let's play what Maba Malu said. The president exploited the presidency.
We'll talk about your threatening our peace. You will not pivot from this thing, Jackie. You will not pivot from this thing.
Because you're afraid United Party will win this stuff.
Afraid where United Party will win.
You're afraid. The alliance.
Very good. Can you condemn that? Can you condemn this?
What does it say? It said, don't try it.
Don't try a rescue soldier. This is General
you have 4 soldiers on the ground.
He's wearing red.
We got 4 soldiers on the ground for the campaign team.
Yeah,
everybody uses that term.
He wanted the
everybody uses it. Do you see that man with gun in his hand? Stop that, man. I'm afraid of United Party. Everybody on the platform is afraid of the United Party alliance, the campaign alliance that's made out of ANC members, Liberty Party members, CR members,
Jackie, you will not have your time if you keep talking.
Jackie, you want to talk?
Jackie, you will not have your time if you keep talking.
But Jackie,
you don't have your time.
So you can talk about Mama.
No, I did not.
Keff took my place.
No, I did not.
I didn't give him my place.
Jackie,
you said, let me say something.
Jackie, you will not have your time if you keep talking.
But Keff, it was not your turn to talk.
Okay, let me finish.
It was not your turn to talk. It was my turn to talk. You taking my time.
But Jackie, let me finish.
After Mariah, it was me. It was not you.
Jackie, I'm not Ben or Tomalin. I'm not Ben or Tomalin. I don't take those things. Let me finish.
Okay, let him finish. Then you talk.
Let me finish.
No, why he can't let me finish? Why he can't let me finish? It was my turn.
And we end the show. I'll call the guy because y'all keep on
But then because I did not give my time to Keff. It was my turn.
That's not your time.
Jackie said 1 minute. They ain't finished 1 minute.
Jackie, please don't interrupt
He already had his 1 minute.
Drop the bomb now, Jackie.
Please don't interrupt the show. Let Keff finish.
But no. It was my turn to talk.
Keff, now you have 1 minute.
No, I will not do that. He interrupted me.
The
Keff,
No, listen, guys.
And the moderator should have told Keff, let Jackie talk when she finishes.
No, let me fair. The moderator can make a determination, and Jackie knows that she has moderated the show. So let's give the moderator chair the respect. The moderator say let Keff finish. Jackie will let Keff
go by 7 o'clock.
Yeah, let Keff finish.
But the producers are writing in the chat room.
Yeah, but
they will soon leave.
Let's wrap it up.
Because
Jackie, you almost finished your time. When you talk that only 1 minute, you almost
go ahead now.
But let me say this quickly, Mr. Moderator. What I was saying is this is not Ellen Johnson Unity Party. This is Joe Boca Unity Party. How look at Dillon. Dillon is from the breakaway expelled Liberty Party.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You're not from.
This is not
the renegade.
So yeah, these are guys that came together and take away. But listen to Boca himself. He condemned Ellen Johnson Unity Party. So he's not part of that Unity Party. He condemned it. So I think that we loving Liberian, this is not about being a sedition or CPP or this. We have to call out this thing and move forward and save our country. Because some of us were young during the war. Some of us, they have time to play during the war, and we will not allow our children to go down that road. We will want our children to play. And I will end with this. From my auntie, grandmother, Miss Mariah, not Mariah Kula, but Mariah from the CDC. She said, Peabody, keep quiet, man. She said, let the children play.
Forget today Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You
know they make it from this Friday.
Y'all gotta let Jackie talk now.
You see, no, on a serious note, Peabody, I don't think we should give voice to people like Jackie them who want our children.
No, Kev, you can't do that.
We can't do that. We can't get voice to them.
She's a Liberian. She's a Liberian. She has a right.
But it's a Liberian who want war.
So let her talk now.
So long she's not condemning Prince Johnson, she want war.
Okay, Jackie, let's go.
Jackie, you want to talk or you want me to play it?
Jackie,
No, we can't hear that. You just stab me out. You just stab me out.
The chairman of the CDC has said it all. He said the president of the Republic of Liberia, George Mana Weah, exploited the presidency. He takes money for the Liberian people and he pocket it and share it with a few friends. He said this in 2019, and I mean, it just summarizes what this government is about. We see drugs, we see the war on drugs, the war on harmonization, the war on corruption. They say they were creating jobs. There are absolutely no jobs. Rule of law, the economy is at its worst.
We're not talking about the threatening.
The economy, don't disrupt me.
No, I will interrupt you because you are off topic. We are discussing the peace of our elections. If you don't have anything to say about it,
peace starts with.
You don't have anything to say about it.
Peace starts with this video. Peace starts with this video from Moba Molu.
We are not talking about Moba Molu. We're talking about the
peace, and that's all part of the peace.
No,
you will not tell me how to talk about the peace. You will not tell me how to talk about the peace.
This is classic unity party. We want to pivot every time there's an issue. You want to pivot. Must discourage Jackie and condemn what the people are doing.
With lack of rule of law, with the bad economy, with what peace starts with dealing with what Moba Molu said.
We're talking about
but you want to play other tips. You don't want to hear Moba Molu tip, but you want to play
because we have heard it and it's done with. We are talking about
it's still valid, and we're talking about it. We want to talk about other parties. They're talking about Moba Molu. The civil servants pay. They're not getting paid on time. This is where peace starts from.
The Moba Molu threatening war.
Peace starts with the extrajudicial killing. Peace starts with a high rape rate. The high mortality rate. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about peace. When the people can live a comfortable life, then we will have peace. That's what peace is about. And under this government, under the CDC government, the people are saying we don't have peace because every day we see push drugs, we see hardship, and we experience the highest level of poverty. Joseph Newman Boycott is the answer because he has all the experience, the requisite experience necessary, the law for this country, for him to govern the Liberian people, and the Liberian people know that they are resolved and they are going to vote.
Jackie, I got a quick question for you.
Newman Boycott.
Jackie, can I ask you a question? Do you support the threatening remarks of Prince Johnson? Do you support it?
The remarks of
you can't even condemn it.
Do you support the remarks? Do you support the remarks of Moba Molu?
Jackie, I beg you.
Do you support it? Talk about it. Let's talk about it. I already talked about it last week.
The Moba Molu threatening the peace of
the peace of Liberia.
You guys here talking about that.
Did Moba Molu threaten the peace of Liberia? Did he threaten the peace of Liberia?
The government was threatening the peace of Liberia. That's what
he condemned Moba Molu.
He said the government.
Can you condemn Prince Johnson?
This government was
condemn Moba Molu. Can you condemn Prince Johnson?
And that's what Moba Molu
said. Condemn Molu. Can you condemn Prince Johnson?
Dude, stop wasting your time.
Have a lesson video.
Okay,
What
guys,
about
we
the video?
now
Because
we got 8 more minutes. So 8
his
more
own
minutes.
government.
Everybody got 30
Let's
seconds
talk
to close,
about
man.
all these
Thank you,
videos.
guys. 30 seconds.
Joseph
Yeah,
Newman brought out
30
vote
seconds,
number
everybody.
2
Thank
on
you.
I will go
election day.
quickly.
Can I go first?
Let's
Dude,
talk
can I go
about the
first?
voter
Let's
registration
go.
cards are coming from
Let me go
Nigeria
first.
all
Yeah,
over
because I
the
go.
place.
Okay,
even
okay,
register.
Jackie, we're
30
closing
seconds.
now.
30 seconds.
Jackie, we're closing now. Let me go first.
We
Okay,
need to talk about the voter registration cards.
Jackie, we're closing now.
Jackie,
We're
leave
closing.
people
We gotta go. Time to close, Jackie.
So,
Let's go.
Jackie,
Yeah, y'all don't
No.
want to hear the truth.
Don't even
Yeah,
register your
Jackie,
people. Your
Jackie,
people.
this is
Now
empty.
everybody is
Empty.
anti-JMB.
Anti-JMP.
So-
Anti-JMP.
Yeah,
What
Jackie,
anti-JMP?
Jackie.
All right, basic campaign.
That will not bring more
JMB
war
should
to
be
our
able to,
country.
and JMB should be able to speak.
So, Jackie.
That will not bring
Yeah.
more war to our country.
Yeah.
There's no war.
Jackie,
Well, I
it's
hope you
empty.
giving that message to CDC.
Jackie,
When it better to what it
Hey,
is.
Yeah.
Jackie,
Okay,
man,
Jackie,
let me go
Jackie,
now.
the
Jackie,
power
let me-
that you want so
Mama
bad.
Malu already spoke and said
The
that
power.
this government is not peaceful. Mama
Jackie.
Malu said it.
That will
Lester
stay
Tilley
in
said it.
opposition for 6 more years.
Lester
6
Tilley
more years,
said
I will
it.
stay in
Mama
opposition.
Malu said it. So many
Jackie,
people in
okay,
the
now, let
CDC
me
government
close
now,
has been
Jackie,
condemning
please.
the whole government.
minutes.
Let's talk about
All right,
that.
we gotta
Jackie,
close.
drink
We
some
gotta
more
close.
water.
Registration card are
We gotta
floating
close.
all the place.
We gotta
Jackie,
close.
you need
That
some.
are
You need some of this.
compromising the peace.
All right.
and
Who
Jackie,
closing?
drink
Who
some
closing?
water.
Tell me who closing.
Jackie,
Your
can I
chest,
close now,
chest
please?
pains.
Okay,
Yeah.
Can I close?
yeah,
Thank you.
guys, we got
Go ahead, Robert. Close.
exactly
Thank
5
you.
minutes, guys. So let's
So,
30
so
seconds,
I
Jackie,
Robert.
believe you
30
want to hear
seconds.
other things for you.
So,
You want to hear
Jackie-
more
I will
about
go.
Ma.
Jackie, get put your let close, man.
Jackie, can I
The show
close?
gotta end now.
Jackie.
We got
You
to-
already
I'm
not,
done.
you
Y'all go ahead.
already not take my position.
JMB
What have the
number
United
2.
Parties done?
Jackie.
Just go ahead, close.
Wait now, ma. You not take my position.
What
at
have the
top.
United
For
Parties
your-
done to
for
Oh
your-
my
no, Kev said something. I think it's a
Hey,
good
Jackie,
idea.
can I close?
Let's
Can
see
the
CDC
man
and
close?
CPP do that debate on Monday.
Can the
What
man
Kev
close?
said. It was a good
Okay.
idea.
Thank you.
Please, let him man
But
close.
Jackie, is sad though. On a serious note,
We're not condemning.
it's sad that
No.
I have a tremendous respect for you. This is not about partisanship, right? But you don't even know Prince Johnson personally. I don't think you know Butt Naked personally either.
What do you know about who I know and who I
Jackie, we're
don't
not
know?
even in Liberia
Okay,
when the war
Jackie.
started.
Okay.
We're not even
No,
there.
you're
What
right.
I'm
We're not
saying
in
is-
the Liberia.
Okay, so even if you know
How you
Prince
know
You
that?
are
Johnson,
in a
I
brother. Now
see,
see why you
Jackie.
doing
I
this.
see.
Now see why you doing this,
Now
Jackie.
I
you
see.
just
Why
took
you
the
I
doing
bait.
see.
So you see, Jackie.
See
You
what?
are not
Jackie,
the
where
So,
am I?
so you
And
just
what
took the
I
bait,
was
right?
doing was advocating for peace in
Oh,
Nigeria.
please, I beg you, man.
Oh, Jackie, please, man.
Jackie, are you serious?
Now on the show tonight.
Are you
Please.
No,
serious?
Mariah, you
Advocating
will
the
be
conquer
quiet.
of
You're not
your
going
own
to
in
Yahoo.
America.
Wait.
You ever heard
Let me
Gonsa?
close because
Now you're going to
Jackie,
people.
Jackie,
You not see them split pregnant woman stomach in
Thank
front of
you.
you. You not see them
Jackie.
telling man,
You not see them
son
close
to
it?
rape mother in front of them. You know the
So,
trauma like
let
Nigerian
me,
people
let, me,
went
let, me,
through.
let me ask you something.
Before you say
Jackie.
Mariah,
you
you
are
work with
advocating
United
for.
Party. Did you ask
That's
Eddie why
why.
she didn't
That's
do
why.
something
That's
about
why
the
you get
TRC?
condemned Prince
Look at
Johnson
trouble. Look at
because you
trouble.
never
Joe
went
Biden
through
was
the
Did you
half
ask
president
them?
and Mariah to do something for TRC.
Yeah,
Joe
man,
Biden
the
was
song
half
you cut
president.
out.
Did you ask?
Come
But
on,
why you
Did
ask Joe
ask?
Biden why he
Hey,
doing?
I said my
Did
people,
you
y'all
ask?
wait now. I will start
Fire,
yelling
man.
too.
Let's go back.
Y'all
I'm
started
sorry,
enough,
Jackie.
man. We won't go, man.
Come
Let's
on,
stop
no,
it.
bias here. Let's
But
speak
Jackie,
the facts and
Jackie,
not
now
be
your turn. Let me
biased.
close now.
Please take control of your show back. Let go.
Yeah, but
Jackie, you just
man.
talking all over the place, man.
But Jackie, in my closing, let me say this to you though, and all Liberians listening, it should not be about partisanship.
Thank you.
When you have statements being made by a man with a record of war, right, or who killed people on national TV, I don't care whose political party he supports. In fact, characters like that should not even have a voice in our democracy in 2023. The fact that you have not even said I condemn Prince Johnson.
We talked about this topic last week.
You
Let's talk
didn't
about
even
what happened
condemn
this
him.
week.
Jackie, we
You
gotta
did
go.
not condemn him either. And so let me
I
close with
addressed
this.
the issue.
When you mention the deaths in Liberia, your party cannot argue that against CDC. Let CPP do it because Harry Grieve was killed
People
on the
won't go
beach.
home.
Wait now.
Jackie, please stop disturbing him. Also.
Yeah,
Harry
Jackie,
Grieve was
that's a bad fit.
Yeah, You've been disruptive now, Jackie.
100 Greeks were killed on the beach, and it became a political death. What the investigation found? Well, after 7 years later, right?
Michael Allison.
Michael Allison. You talk about drugs. Yeah, let's talk about drugs. But you had 12 years. What policy prescription did you put in place to fight the war on drugs in our country? Zero. So everything you want to talk about, we can talk about it, but you still will not win on these arguments. But the bottom line here is the peace and security of Liberia should be beyond partisanship. When people make reckless statements, irrespective of our political affiliations, our common interest is our country, and none of us should be willing to jeopardize our country for partisanship. I will encourage you again to, on this platform, say these words. I condemn those reckless statements from Prince Johnson.
Okay, guys, we got 4 more minutes.
So quickly speaking, I'm next.
Yeah, let's go. 30 seconds,
very
please.
short.
30 seconds.
You know, I know what it feels like to lie on my belly to avoid stray bullets.
Thank you.
I know what it feels like as a child to walk from New Georgia Estate and see the swollen bellies of bodies on the ground. I know what it feels like to see a former president ears being chopped off on national TV. You know what? I also know what it feels like to be in the presence of lifeless body at the U.S. Embassy, women, children from Greystone slaughtered because of civil war. When you start recruiting ex-generals, when you start making this about war, when you start thinking that those people who have committed some of the worst atrocities are individuals that should be supporting your government or the person you're pushing down the Liberian people's throat, this is scary. Look, my people, the United States does not have any relationship with Joseph Boyka.
Okay.
Congress does not have any relationship with Joseph Boyka. These people are dangerous. They're no different than the people they've criticized. They represent nothing connected to change, and we should reject them.
Okay.
This is my honest plea, and voters need to take that into consideration.
Okay. Guys, yes, just before we go, man, before we conclude, let's recognize one of our regular followers, Sekou Kolasco, the Maru.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kolasco. Kolasco, I think he turned for the
but everybody finish first and then we can do.
Yeah, but we got time, Ben, so we only got 2 more minutes. So that's what I said. So, Mariah, close. So we can
yeah, I yield my time to Mariah. I yield my time to you to close. I yield my time.
Did Jackie run away?
So once CPB official, when you're closing?
October 1, ATS. Next Sunday, October 1, we will. Actually, not close. It's a CPP rally because after that there will still be other events.
I can imagine at ATS.
I hope tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, Monday, we can play Mr. Cummings. Actually, it's a short video, but if we don't have time, that's fine. To play next week. Yeah, I think if replacement of my closing, if we can play.
On Sunday, we're having a special exclusive of Musa. The CPP chairman will be having here special on Sunday. So maybe we're going to use our occasion here. But we're having a special.
All right, y'all send it? Did you send it?
Yeah, we can send a video.
Send it. I will play.
If you guys can give us the short time.
1 minute.
Yeah, let's send the video. Real
Yeah,
quick.
I can use my time too, just so that. I can imagine if a UP rider will cancel like that. What am I going to do?
You know, Mr. Cummings is peaceful.
That was a good.
It's in the chat. Yeah, I sent it.
Shine your eye. Vote number 4. October
yeah,
1st.
I sent it to you, Tomalin.
Well, yeah,
so you guys can play.
We'll send it to them.
Yeah, but it'll be on October 1. Initially it was the 6th, but NEC informed us that other parties had asked for the 6th.
Mariah, what time you send it in?
I sent it to TCA earlier today.
So
I just sent it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we got it.
Can you send that to Ayatollah? Can you play that quick?
CPP will be outside. Will be outside on the 1st.
On the 1st. On the 1st.
We're going to be.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
the birthday. The Q&A? We know it's a studio Q&A.
Yeah, I think
we put a video up now.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Who playing it?
No, not seeing the video.
Are you playing it, Robert?
Yeah, you're playing it with my phone.
I see the video, man. I see the video.
Can you put it on the screen, please?
I wanted to use this opportunity to give you an update because I know there was a lot of excitement building for our rally in Montserrat on October 6th. We were informed by the National Elections Commission, the NEC, that 3 other political parties had also asked
You missed the dancing part, Robert.
do the rally in Masrado on October 6th. And as an opposition leader, an opposition party, somebody who wants to do things differently, to provide an alternative, we've decided not to compete or to overpower the other parties who want to use the 6th. And therefore, we have shifted our rally to October 1st. I'm excited about the fact that we know all Liberians of all walks of life will come out on the 1st to support real change. I know Liberians are tired, they're suffering, and they want something different. They want an alternative. And therefore, I know we'll lock down the ATS, we'll lock down Monrovia on October 1st because all of you will come to support us. Our colors are white, red, and Liberty Party green. So come out in any of those colors, white, red, or Liberty Party green, and come and support Liberia's quest for real and fundamental change to our country. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing you all on the 1st. I'm looking forward to you telling friends and relatives and well-wishers to come and join us so that we can send a message to the world and to Liberians that we are ready to fundamentally change our country so that all Liberians can benefit from this country we call Liberia. So thank you all very much. And I look forward to seeing you on October 1st when Teresa, Charlene, and myself, and all the leadership of the CPP will be there to celebrate with you this pivotal tipping point for our country. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
Thank you.
Yes, guys.
Yes.
The independent rapper.
October 1 at ATS. Yay!
Now they come and say they come and say I'm CPP man. I gotta play
The independent rapper.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Let me say for the record.
Rapper, anytime Mariah comes the show,
And let me say for the record, Liberty Party
Mariah
green is
could
different from that. Liberty Party green is
Nah,
different from
I'm
that
that
other green.
door looking. I'm a green.
Liberty Party green is bright, is beautiful,
Bright and
different
green.
from that other green that y'all have parading around the other day and causing trouble in the place.
Then I people be here myself.
Not a business, I don't care. Yeah. But we
Well,
want
man, you guys, thanks for the week. But on Sunday, we'll be back on Sunday with a special edition of.
don't put Carrasco picture up small, man.
Yeah, happy birthday to my dear brother,
Oh,
man.
happy birthday to Kalasco. You know, it's funny. I need to find a picture of him and I post.
Yeah.
But I saw them posting picture of Kalasco today. But if CPP people are going to be posting picture of Kalasco, then they will say we see this here auxiliary. But the CPP people are going to be begging Kalasco in the name for school fee and rent.
You know it for
I
true.
didn't want to post me a picture of that today. But I would have want.
And let me tell you, they stay begging you. They stay begging for money. They can't talk.
Happy birthday.
They can come on national radio and behind the scene is still big.
They can kind of talk.
Exactly my point.
You saw the video with Joey talk? When you saw that video about the hospital already?
Happy birthday, bro.
Stay begging.
On Sunday we have
we said now we had a phone call. They called it the beginning.
By extension of the CPP. Chairman Musa Hassan Bede will be our special guest on Sunday. We'll be
one-on-one with the chairman.
We have a special guest for him. We know who's Musa Bede. We'll be talking about the CPP and about.
So we coming on, Jack. How many people coming on?
Well, we'll be here. When they come, you should.
Is there everybody can let you?
When they come, that's
everybody will come.
Musa Bede want to engage the people. So
yeah, how to find him one way, Joe.
Yeah,
T-shirt.
everybody will come.
We want to talk about his work and
what kind of picture Carrasco can get Joey out there? You can. It's hard to find picture with Carrasco and get Joey out there.
No man, post the one, shit, man. Post the one when the man came to Atlanta. Tomalin,
Joey is our way of life. Joey is our way of life.
Yeah, that put a picture up. We gotta go before the people get there. The studio. Yeah, cool.
All right, guys, have a great weekend.
Tomalin, yeah.
Have a good weekend.
I hope you can. If I will not meet up,
Happy birthday.
If you're into it, maybe next time. Because me, I'm ready to address Unity Party propagandists who dragged Mrs. Cummings and her son and insulted her in this country for
was that
almost
Mrs. Cummings
2
for real?
days.
Yeah, that one.
Insulted that woman, call her names and call her son names. But me, I'm waiting for the appropriate forum.
People who respect, I see them on a certain post on that thing insult.
Yeah, encouraging it. Like, it's not a Pandora box.
Mariah is not a guy who went to go big, Mr. Cummings.
That's the thing I don't understand about you people.
Not there, right?
You do something to someone that they can't do it to you too.
That was
I thought it was Mr. Cummings. I thought it went to go.
I didn't take away the show. I said have a good weekend.
I didn't take away. I keep on Carrasco picture. I gotta go.
October.
Happy birthday, Carrasco. I see you guys.
Fix up 2 days. Right
Guys,
here.
have a good weekend. I gotta try
can't wait to see you, bro.
I gotta try. If I need some water.
I will get my stuff there ready. I don't have to be in trouble.
They got Keff.
They got trouble.
They got Keff.
I used to have a good night, man. Guys.
All right, good night, guys.
Thank you.
What, Jackie?
The laptop, yeah.
Chris Johnson called.
Yeah, Jackie said she's by you or another person.
What
she said you're going to send it by you.
Yeah, I'll bring a laptop. That could be a laptop. Okay, at least. That's a good one.
All right, gentlemen.
I have a good weekend. But Mariah, you want natural? What happened? I made you up today. There I go.
Well, thank you, folks. There you have it. And so thanks for following the closing argument and the man here. And Monrovia would love to say thanks to the head of technical teams here at KMTV and our man Emmanuel Do Jainet for amicably sitting and making sure we bring you all of the technical aspect of the show. Well, my name is Irish Niva. Thanks for watching the closing argument and good night from the nation's capital, Monrovia.